for the YouTube peeps.
Yo, what's up? We're here with another podcast. I don't know the name of this podcast because 2020. It's going to be a new name. Every year we're going to change the name. I'm kidding.
I mean, I was going to say, if you're going to change the name, why don't you keep it... I mean, don't change the name. Keep it because it's just annoying as fuck. You're searching the same answer. I remember what last year's one was. What's this year's one though?
We're keeping it then. We're keeping it. I'm here with Spasmo again. We've got a new background, but Spasmo can't see that. He can see it when I upload it to YouTube. We got into some deep conversations and what do you call it? Deep and meaningful.
I wouldn't call it deep and meaningful, but I mean, I would call it, I was talking about the shit that's been going on at the moment with the world and the shit that we,
Thought we'd hop on stream and YouTube and voice it because everyone wants to hear it. Everyone does. Gets lots of viewers.
Yeah. I mean, the main thing is that it's, we're talking about shit that's relevant at the moment. So, one of the big things we're talking about at the moment is this whole controversy around this Twitch streamer, and this one Twitch streamer in particular, about how she basically told her community, pay me or fuck off.
Are we dropping a name?
Oh, I mean, everyone. If you're not on Twitter and and for the audio listeners, if you don't know who we're talking about this Twitch streamer called Bad Bunny.
$5 a month.
There you go. You dropped the name. She's gonna come find us now.
I don't fucking care. I mean, come at me then. I understand. TOS, you can't hate speech, but this isn't hate speech. This is what we're just talking about. What's already out there.
We're talking about the behavior, not the person.
Exactly. We're talking about behavior, not the and. So we're talking about, Cody's a very, he's, I wouldn't call him, horrible or anything like that. Sorry, Nick, putting you on blast here. But it's, you like, not only do you like the drama, but you like throwing out there the comments that, are going to rile people up. Or you're going to say things like, oh, I like that person's opinion when the majority of people are on the other side. Just because it's like, it's just because it's something different. It's like, it's not,
exactly.
You don't like everyone following the same sheep or the same five.
Exactly.
Comments,
you can't just follow the stream. But for completeness, I am for Bad Bunny. I'm for a team. So if she wants to, hit me up, do some collab. I'm kidding. But I do agree with what she does. I reckon it's pretty lit, actually.
I mean, I understand from a content creator's perspective that we do provide entertainment, and almost on every other platform of entertainment. So that's that's a dancer, that's like making designing art, sculptures, all that sort of shit. Everything from from A to Z. They get paid for their products. It's like they'll sell their paintings, they will, they'll sell their sculptures, or they'll do classes and all these other things, which, you can't generally get for free. You might be able to see glimpses of them for free. So, it's like, you'll see like little previews, like a 30-second video on not Discord, on fucking social media like Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and then it's like, come to our show and you see the rest of it, or you see when an artist is creating art, you might see a little bit behind the scenes of how it is and a quick flash of the final product. But if you want that product in your hands or somewhere where you can go look for it, you generally have to pay something to get there. So when an artist does an art show or something like that, you pay a door fee, or a museum fee, or what it is. Like if you go to your local city and go to the museum, they're going to charge your door cost to come in the door to look at all the art.
Exactly.
They don't care if you take pictures, they don't care and all that sort of shit. But if you want to go in, you're going to have to pay a door fee. And let's be honest, that's what the artist gets paid for. That's their income that they're getting. Besides the income they're going to get from selling the pieces, you have to be invited specially to these shows, and you're generally someone if you get invited, you're either someone of the artist's interests or you're someone the artist is trying to sell something to you.
Exactly.
And it's very similar here on Twitch. We're effectively selling you our content, but how the platform works is you can access it for free. So, for people down on our end of the scale, I guess Cody's probably a good example. Where we only get like a couple of viewers or a handful of viewers come through at any given time, we're very, very thankful for whatever they give us, if anything, and just being there in general.
That's what most people look at us.
I mean, that's what most people... Yeah. I mean, I couldn't care less if people pay me or not for this. See, Twitch to me is not my full-time job. It's not part-time job. It's a hobby. So I just enjoy being here creating content. I'm not here earning a paycheck. I'm not here... all that stuff comes secondary, third, or fourth, or even at the very end. It's like, oh, someone's subbed to me this month. Oh, wow, that's really cool. Someone actually thinks it's worth putting their hard-earned money into watching my content. Now, the whole controversy. Hey, thank you very much for the follow, ZDayOG. Thank you very much. But see, this is what I mean. It's just people coming in and showing their love and jumping in, saying hello and all that. So it says hello, Cockman. Thanks, C-Day. But it's the point around this whole controversy is that that Bad Bunny basically on her stream did this mini rant about how she's creating content. I need someone to donate subs or whatever, and literally no one donated bits, sub, whatever. Like, it was fucking horrid. And so it was just like I think she did like a whole spiel of why. I don't know. I remember watching some of it, but not the whole thing. Sort of just flicking through it to get a background context mainly for this conversation. But the Twitch clip that everyone's seeing isn't the whole conversation. But before the conversation, she had this mini rant about content creating and all that sort of stuff, and how she needed subscriptions and all this bullshit. And then she basically sat there for like 5 minutes with nothing happening and went realizing, oh shit.
She really...
like whatever I said didn't fucking work. And it's like, let's be honest, at some point or other, I'm pretty sure I've even done it. We've even joked, it's like, I don't know, haha, like, more, I mean, for us, it's more as a joke. I mean, in my perspective, I've done it. It's, it's like, oh, I'll do this if you sub, or so, yes. just antagonize people, not to actually get subscriptions out of it, but just to antagonize.
Set some impossible goal. She's evaluating herself.
Yeah,
if she wants to sit there and think she's worth $250, that's crazy. If she wants to sit on a phone, I don't understand how streamers do that. They're like, oh, I'm going to get so popular.
And the funny thing is, it's like, so people subscribe for your content. If it's good, bad, whatever it is, right? Now, the huge thing that the part of the whole controversy about this whole Bad Bunny thing is Nick's on his phone, not paying attention.
Me? No, I'm looking at a bolt.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at my GoPro stuff. I'll put it down.
But the point that is that she doesn't even use her own content, so she goes on. So she remember how you could do that, just like watch together sort of bullshit. I've done it a few times, mainly just because it's like I can't think of anything else to stream tonight, and there's some videos I want to show you, and let's do it this way. It's it's a good way to do it. You're basically watching other people's content, and that's pretty much all she does. Is she goes on and watches other people's content,
and she thinks so it's worth.
Because she's got her face in it, it's her content. Like, hello,
she's not H3.
No. Well, she's not. She's not anyone. She's just another streamer. But I think the most antagonizing thing to her is that she's in the upper echelon of what you classify as a streamer. So she's got thousands of viewers at any given time.
The top 2%.
It's like anytime she turns on the stream, she's going to get followers, subscriptions, donations, whatever it is, big, small, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't have to. She knows as soon as she turns on that camera and turns on that the OBS, it's just smooth sailing. It's going to start. Effectively, money's going to come rolling in, if that's how you want to look at it.
Every time you don't stream, you lose money. That's a crazy concept.
I mean, I think of it as like, I mean, a good example is the job that I do. For example, like I'm an Uber driver, right? So effectively, every time I don't have someone in the car, I'm not earning money.
Commission based, dude.
Yeah, it's a good concept to look at. It's like you can put it across most jobs. If you haven't got someone in your car, if you haven't got someone in your office, if you haven't got someone sitting in front of you or talking to you or whatever it is, you're not making money. You know? So that's the concept she's looking at. She's looking at more as a job and more of as a self-entitled. I mean, I can't really say this on Twitch, but self-entitled little beep beep beep. You know, it's and she's pretty much just sitting there.
Hey,
talking
we're past the
bullshit.
10-minute. And apparently, when you make long content on YouTube, once you get past the 10-minute, they stop like looking at it, so you can swear and shit.
Oh, okay, fair. Okay, yeah. So basically, she's an entitled little cunt.
There we go.
And she thinks that, you know, just because she sits there in front of a camera, she can demand money out of people, which isn't the case. I mean, my personal view is that no matter who you are, or what you do, you can't sit there and demand money out of people who watch your content.
Absolutely not. And this is where it comes to my perspective and why I admire her. She is almost the queen of content to me, but I'm not going to give her a dime just because I want to go into a stream now and just not donate at all and just try to be, is it on follower or sub chat only? I don't know.
I mean, you can set it like that, but I mean, the only people who do that are people like, I mean, the only people I've seen who do like the sub mode, the follower,
are the massive people.
Are the massive people where it's just like they just can't read the chat. It's flying so fast that it's like, well, guys, if I'm going to read this, I'm going to have to put it in a follow only mode or sub mode, so it slows down a little bit.
But you have to admire that she is 100% true.
She's got fucking balls. No, she's got fucking balls. Like, if you can say to your community that community, you're a bunch of cunts, give me money. You know, and this is the thing. This is the whole big thing around this as well. Is that this isn't the first time she said this. So she obviously at some point was struggling.
Yes, exactly.
You know, was struggling with either financially or whatever when it came to streaming. They should go, okay, I've got to find something controversial to say to get me views. And look at the social media. Look at all the Twitch clips. They've all jumped up by thousands and thousands of views. Like,
it's very smart.
By all means, she understands the concept of how controversy works, and she's got it by the fucking balls.
And in a roundabout way, she's not being as deceptive as the people that are like, oh, just look at my sub goal. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, everyone, for the 10 subs. Thank you.
And in saying that as well, things like sub goals, follow goals, they're all great things to put on your stream and stuff because they work. It gives people, oh, this person's working to something, let's help them. You can just put it up there, but don't mention it every stream or every tweet you make. That's the only problem I have when they're like, oh, you know, to be a successful streamer, you just got to put that sub thing up there, and they do every tweet. They like try to give advice that's just fucking deceptive. Well, yeah, so that's something we can move on in a sec. But it's just like, you know, it's like, because I don't want to sit here and say, hey, be successful at streaming, because I'm not. So
no, I'm not. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's just my preference. I'm against everyone else.
Yeah. So, you know, there are things you need to do to, you know, boost your following and all that sort of stuff. And she, obviously she gets it, because, you know, if I say something controversial that is completely left field or right field, or however you want to,
it's going to blow up.
So I've never understood that. What's left field and right field? I mean, it's, you know, it's not following the path, you're going left or right. I mean, which one does it matter? But
isn't it a political stance, or is that?
Yeah, but I still don't get what that means. I guess because I'm not American, I'm Australian.
I've always been a centralist. I'm like,
I think most people. Most
people are. Just don't want to comment on anything.
Don't want to piss on people's shoes, pretty much.
Yeah.
But no, the thing is that it's very. In this sort of like thing where you're in people's faces, and the way to become popular and stand out is to say something controversial. So either she was lacking, like, okay, shit, guys, like she was thinking to herself, shit, I need to figure out a way how to become big or become more relevant again.
Exactly.
And because she's done something previously, she's gone, it's like, well, let's look back at all my statistics on Social Blade and all these other websites that gives you statistics about what made you big. So, okay, it's like, I did really well this stream. What did I say this stream? This is where I said fucking people need to pay me, you know? So I'm going to purposely direct the conversation, pointing toward that for about a week, and then I'm just going to drop it, you know? And that's literally what she done. If you go back and look at her previous streams before that, there are little indications here and there about
Just dropping breadcrumbs.
Yeah, like it's like, guys, I've got a new sub goal, or guys, I've got, a follower goal up here. Or she was just doing little bits and pieces of things like that throughout the week prior, and then it leads up to the 2 days or the day of
the finale
of that stream, and then it's like just fucking boom,
finale.
And what's happened? Fucking Twitter's exploded with retweets about the last event and what she said this time.
Twitter's great.
There are new clips. It's just like, and I bet people have gone onto a channel and donated and said, this is fucking, like, just to get her attention, this is fucking hilarious. Or, it's all this sort of bullshit that it's like, everyone, and it's like, and I got sucked into it. I saw something on Twitter that someone who I respect's point of view, who's another streamer, and said, and I said, it's like, this sort of dumbfounded me, because it's like, how can you say this to your community? And it took me about 3 or 4 hours later after reading over some of the stuff again, and I was like, oh, fuck, I've just fallen into that trap. I've added to it, because what did I do? I retweeted it.
Exactly.
I commented on it, and then, I started my own conversation about it. And again, we're doing it here. So not only is this poor person... No, this person is getting like second waves of stuff of people talking in podcasts, people talking about it like we are just chatting. It's just
it's still going on.
Things. It's still going on, and it just shows you how powerful controversy can be in positive and bad ways. I mean, you can say something that upflares the community like this, or you can say something really positive everyone gets behind. So, as soon as I can't remember, I don't know who it was, but there's a big streamer over in the US who basically said, you guys, I've got some people over in Australia who are dealing with some pretty bad fires at the moment. We're going to get on this, we're going to make huge donations to blah, blah, such and such, right? And then Loser Fruit, who is an Australian streamer, does that huge, 48-hour stream or whatever, and they don't play a single game, I'm pretty sure, through the whole fucking stream. And it's just this huge train of donations, which is great, because obviously the fires have been fucking horrid. But all it takes is one big streamer or one sort of influential person to say something or do something that isn't normal, and everyone can either jumps on the bandwagon or flames them for it.
Exactly. It's either
way,
super positive or super negative. There's no
super negative. Yes, it's either super positive or super negative, and either way it happens.
Yeah,
people are jumping on the bed, and it happens with games as well. So at the moment, the big game at the moment that's going through the freaking cycle of games that everyone's playing is Escape from Tarkov. Now, Escape from Tarkov has been out for almost 2-3 years now. And it's only now sort of getting the recognition from all the big streamers playing it and all that stuff. Like, not long before that, it was GTA, the No Pixel server, like GTA Roleplay. And so all it takes is one big streamer to jump on it, and everyone's talking about it.
You got to be the first mover.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's just people with a bit of influence, And that's the thing that I find so astounding about all of this, is that all it takes is one person with a bit of influence or a bit of a big community to say one thing, and it's just one thing, and the whole world is talking about it.
Exactly.
Everyone. It's like, especially with the job that I do, I talk to a lot of different people every day, and the amount of people who don't know what I'm talking about a lot of the time is just as astounding as how many people do, and I just can't sort of fathom how. All it takes is one person to say one thing, and everyone's up in arms about it. Like,
it's the cyber world we live in. Everything's more accessible.
Exactly. I was working today in Uber. I was having a chat to some people about just how social media works and around the sort of jobs that around the hobby that I do with Twitch. And they're going, oh, social media is a really big thing. It's like, and then they actually brought up, did you hear about that Bad Bunny? Chick who said, all this sort of shit about our community. I'm like,
oh,
fuck
shit.
Me, it's like someone who I didn't expect to, from skin level, you don't expect to know anything that you're talking about, then turns around and says the most controversial thing that's happening around on social media at this time.
It travels so far, dude.
So we're in fucking Australia. This happened in America. Like this, to us, that's on the other side of the world. That's a 24-hour plus journey.
They're upside down, dude.
Yeah, it's just astounding how all it takes is one person to have a rant about anything or a positive thing, and it's felt across the world, man.
It's crazy. I suppose reflecting on now that we've talked about it, I think Bad Bunny, I respect her idea, but I don't respect her
the outcome.
Or the way that she how do I say it? The way she I don't know, did it, engaged with it. The execution, that's what I was trying to say.
The execution,
I like the idea of having something so volatile. So, like, no one would have thought of ever doing, I've assumed people have thoughts of it, but no one would actually do it. And she just fucking did it.
Yeah.
The idea of doing something different, that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's the thing, you know, and someone like yourself who does have thousands of followers and so many subscribers and so many people who support her on such a high level, you know, all it takes is her to say one thing and people are going, what the fuck? You know, it's not something that you should shy from, and it's sort of very interesting. It's like you just sort of think about it. It's like, well, shit, what are these people brainwashed us with? You know, so you know, for example, you know, all it takes is one person to say, this brand of water bottle, for example, is fucking amazing. But really, they only show half of it because the bottom fucking leaks. You know, like, and then thousands of people go out and go, oh, this streamer said this water bottle is great, so I'm going to go buy this water bottle.
And the water company increases the prices.
Yeah, they increase the price for the res. Okay, yep, you know, we've got someone to say this. So they increase the price. By the time the viewers hear that announcement and go out and buy the water bottles, they've gone out and bought out a water bottle that's 3 times the markup for a quarter of the quality.
That's business for you.
It's fucking business, and it's fucking ruthless. And people seem to forget that even in something as content creating, or what you classify as what's the word? Not just content creating, but I guess we're in the entertainment industry. So even something in the entertainment industry has fucking ruthless marketing, like corporates or bosses or people behind it who just go, I know how to play this game, and we're gonna fucking play it.
Exactly. Google, all the big companies do that. They fucking love it. Soon as they've already caught on. Twitch is owned by Amazon, don't you remember? No, they probably just love this. They love all this.
Oh no, this is a pure gold for. Now, I apologize, chat, that I'm not really responding to you as I'm having a conversation with Nick. But it's hi Mayor, hi Jinx, hi Z-Dog, and Z-Dog. I do have a large cock, but I'm not going to show it on stream. Mayor, Spazzy. Spaghetti. This is Coyote. He's one of the other founding members of NFGG.
Do I continue to wave?
You can continue to wave. But yeah, so that's who that is. So yes.
Hey, Spaghetti.
But yeah, like what was that? So some of the other things that are happening at the moment. Okay, so something else that's happening at the moment. Is smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. But it's some of the other big stuff that's happening at the moment, especially in Australia, is we're coming to hopefully towards the end of some of these bushfires that have devastated our country. And like, is this the plug moment where I say go find a link and donate, and go find a Red Cross link and donate?
I'll put some links in the description. They haven't hit. They hit Queensland a little bit at the start, but we've been.
That's where a lot of them started.
Yeah, we've been fairly good off. I mean, where I live, there hasn't been a fire. There was massive fires last year. We had we had to evacuate a whole town. Oh, not last year, sorry, 2018. I'm getting so confused. It was ages ago. But we had a whole town evacuated, so we had to bring everyone into the hospital. It was crazy, and into like the town. And
yeah, well, so, I mean that's just happened across the country.
State, I could only imagine. Yeah, that was just one day. So one day there was an evacuation. This is talking weeks they've been evacuating. So I couldn't imagine that. That'd just be insane.
But for some of the people who've been living under a fucking rock for the last, I'm going to say 5 months, it's basically a bunch of fires started in Queensland, burnt out a couple of forests. Then they really started bad. Like, so New South Wales, Victoria, and Queensland have all been in a very, very bad drought for almost 5 years now.
Exactly.
Is that about right? I mean,
yep, bit
you've had showers and stuff, but you haven't had a proper downfall.
Yeah, not any rain season or anything
for almost 5 years. And someone like myself, where I live in South Australia, where we're probably in one of the most forgiving states when it comes to rainfall. Even we didn't have a great rainfall this year. I mean, we still had rainfall, but nothing. We're not in drought or anything like that. But even one of our biggest tourist attractions, especially to Adelaide, it's something that pulls in hundreds and hundreds of, almost thousands of tourists every year, is Kangaroo Island. And Kangaroo Island is pretty much gone.
Didn't it get smoked, the whole thing?
2/3.
Can't imagine it.
I mean, it's I laugh about it because I'm just laughing with all the situations, but it's like 2/3 of it is just gone. There's nothing.
It's devastating.
It's just
all the animals and all that's crazy.
And the wildlife, the people's lives, people's property. It's like I was having this discussion with some other people, but it's like the insurance companies are fucking freaking out.
I would be too. They backtrack.
Can you imagine if you're an insurance company owner right now? It's like,
no, we didn't promise you that. No.
Pretty much that. For decades, it's like, it's just raking people's money. They're paying us. We don't have to pay out. This is great.
It is great.
And then what happens? Massive fires. Oh, okay. People lose thousands of property, livestock,
millions of dollars,
millions and millions, billions of dollars have just been burnt off the land in an instant. Houses, vehicles, and anything you can think of that will burn, and also things you don't think will burn is burned. And it's like, so not only did that happen, but it's like what's happened in Queensland, especially in Queensland, some parts of New South Wales, and definitely in Victoria, as well as partially the reasons all the fires are out now, or most of them are out now, is because the complete opposites happened, and they've had flooding.
You gotta love Australia.
Australia goes from one end to the other, and there's nothing in the middle.
No.
So just whoop.
No.
So you go from one extreme to the next. So in some areas, and it's horrible, but some of these people have just got burnt out of their homes. They come back to their land for about a week or a couple of weeks or so, and now everything's just been washed away. So it's like Mother Nature saying, fuck you, I'm going to burn everything, and then we're going to wash the slate clean.
And the rain didn't come any earlier to stop the fires or anything.
I mean, they stopped the fires, but I mean, they didn't, the fires were on for weeks. They were on for months. Yeah. So some of these poor people have, these floods and fires, and so I can only feel for insurance companies at the moment, because it's like they've gone from massive fires. It's like, can you imagine the insurance company can you imagine your client as a insurance company? Oh yeah, I'm calling up because my house burnt down. I need to claim insurance. Yeah, we'll process the form. 2 weeks later, I need to call you again because where you're going to put my new house, it's 3 feet underwater. Yeah. It's like, so now I need to put
counterclaim
into a counterclaim that claim. And it's just, and the insurance companies are scrambling, and the government's had to get involved because it's because these insurance companies, obviously, the insurance company takes forever to pay you out about shit. So pay out.
They've got to come probably take photos and shit.
They've got to come take photos. They've got to investigate. So the government sort of stood on their asses a little bit and said, "You got to pay these people out because there's none of this sort of sitting around or whatever." And for the new people coming into chat, but it's just you can't stand there as an insurance company say, oh, it's going to take us 6 months to pay you out. It's like,
Jesus
people
Christ.
are homeless and people are standing up to their waist of water. It's not, you
got to act now.
You got to act now. So the government said stuff, and then what's come to light out of all these things as well is that it's like, what is it? One of the big political leaders under. I can't remember if it was on the opposite leader or the fucking current leader's party. But basically, someone has basically swindled money for sporting.
Oh, that's the current, no, not the opposition. Yeah, that's a lady. I don't know her name.
Yeah, so neither can I. But basically, it's under the Morrison government, from my understanding.
Yeah, she's under that.
And she's basically come and basically what she's done is the government's given a whole bunch of money to give out to effectively. I guess is the proper word is poor areas that don't have strong sporting grounds. So like football fields, football clubs, stuff like that. Stuff supporting the poorer areas to give them things like parks and all that sort of shit. And she's basically taken that money and given it to people, who, the district has got private schools and private football clubs. And also given all these things, so it's like it's another circumstance where the poor are getting poorer and the rich are getting richer.
The inverse Robin Hood.
Yeah, and she's trying to, say, well, these people deserved it. It's like, these people get hundreds of dollars from every membership, yet I can't get a fucking football goal put in my local park. Like
it's broken, dude.
Or like the change rooms have been leaking for so long. People can't get in there because if they go in there, they'll get fungal foot from the showers. Like it's fucking nasty. It's like, hi Shadow, how you going? So we're in a podcast. We kind of I am ignoring chat a little bit. I apologize about that.
A little bit of a ignore. I don't have a chat, so. Well,
you're doing it. You're doing it through the other things. So
YouTube versus Twitch going on right now. I don't know if I'm enjoying. If we speak about our content now, moving on, I'm not happy with the content I've been making, dude. 100%.
Oh, really?
And now on YouTube, it's kind of swiveling around. Kind of not though. YouTube's kind of more critical. I reckon I'm easier just Twitch streaming. Because you don't have to do that editing and all that, I suppose. But
I think that's partially why I've enjoyed Twitch, is because I first started my content creating years ago, which was if you want to look at my YouTube channel, probably about 5 years ago now. It's like
always like a hill. You're going down a constant battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Like October, November was really good for me, and then December was good, and then it. Generally, I haven't had the drive to keep to any schedules and stuff like that. I've been trying. I'm just.
Oh, that's because Shadow, you're just getting into it. You're just starting exactly. So you just start. But it's like for someone like myself, I've been doing on and off stuff for years and years now. It's sort of like went through stage of YouTube, and I just found fucking. I mean, don't by means. I take my hats off to YouTubers. I completely understand why they buy editors. I remember when people first started saying, "Oh, I've had to hire an editor," and all that, and then I started doing YouTube. It's like, why do people hire editors? All they do is do a couple of hours of videoing, and then they edit, and it's like, they don't really do a whole lot with their day, And then I very quickly realized it's like
constant work.
I've recorded for 4 hours of video gameplay. And it's taken me almost 12 hours to edit.
Yep.
and I've produced a 5-minute video.
Yep.
So, or you have to really sort of set up the content you're going to do. That's the only way I was able to figure out how do you get really good at this YouTube thing. It's sort of like, okay, I've either got to make events happen or I have to sort of almost script them out in the sense, not per se script them out word for word, but sort of go, all right, guys, I want this sort of thing to happen when I have a big fight here. I want to have a bit of drama here, and I want to have such and such here, and sort of just make it all sort of flow together and attach together as
the stuff I did. This little guy, the GoPro.
Yeah.
I did not do enough content. It's just me in the ocean or riding a bike. I'm like, no, I got to record more, so I'm just going to record more and then compile it in like 6 months. Just to find the opportune thing. GoPro's great. I fucking love it. I've had heaps of fun with it.
So what are you using now to record what we're seeing now? Is that a GoPro as well?
No, that's a Logitech. This is the only GoPro I've got.
I'm half tempted to spend a bit of money on a GoPro so I can have a better quality camera so people can see me do arm movements that are
definitely.
Just my shoulders.
I should hook my GoPro. Can you hook your GoPro up as a?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, I'll have to look into it. It's definitely really good quality. It's fucking great quality.
You've got a USB cord for it, don't you?
Yep.
It's like your camera, just a USB plug-in thing. You just plug it into your computer, acts like a normal camera. Because it is a camera. It's a video recorder. It's just like a camera. You just plug it in like normal. It should. You just got to connect it to your OBS and connect it to your Discord, and it should be fine.
There we go.
But yeah. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. We're talking about fucking
What were we talking about?
I don't know. Chat. What we were talking about. I'll talk to chat for a quick sec. I like the shirt you're wearing and your beard. He liked that. What someone in my chat like. Shadow likes your shirt, and then she likes my beard.
I gotta grow out my beard.
You should grow it out like mine. Mine's amazing.
I shave mine.
Do you have to for work though? Do you have to keep it neat for work?
No, they don't really care. I've grown it longer than that. Yeah.
Wildfires. Okay, yeah, we're talking about the fires and stuff. So yeah, so the fires are fucking horrid. The government's a fucking piece of shit.
And then we went on to content creation.
Then we content creation. Yeah, okay, here we go. The insurance coming. Yeah, okay, the insurance coming. So, you know, there are things like with our content creating, it's so everyone has certain levels of content creating of what they like to do, what they don't like to do, and we all go through periods where we either don't want to do it,
like now,
or like for you for now, like over Christmas and stuff. Christmas is a hard time for with family and all that sort of shit. So I really just did it. I mean, I'll be honest with my community and stuff like that, guys. A lot of the reason I didn't film over Christmas was because or do any recording or anything sort of stuff is because Christmas isn't always a pleasant time for me. It's not.
100%.
Family's difficult. Families, you know, those funny. You just really after spending half the time with the family and the rest of the time at work, it's sort of a bit draining. I just came home and it's like I just feel like playing video games. I don't feel like doing
exactly.
And then what did I decide to do? I fucking decided to start up NFGG. So there you fucking go. But it's the content creating go through different periods of where you just want to blast out content, which is what I'm feeling like now. I just want to keep pushing out content regularly.
Yep.
You know, you go through periods of it's like, oh, what should I be doing? I want to try something new. I want to try something I've done before. I know that works well, and I liked it. I want to go back to that, or you want to sort of blow it out of the water and go throw everything up in the air and start from scratch.
Yep.
You know, everyone goes through periods. So it's like so like you see it with big streamers. You know, they want to change, so they go to a different platform.
They sign a big contract. They love that money.
They sign it. I think there's a bit more involved with sort of that. I think if we ever get to that level, we'll probably understand that a bit more. Than
YouTube, I'm
now.
here. Get me off Twitch. Hey, I didn't turn off my alerts, but there we are. Thank you, Shadow, for following me.
Yeah, you gotta follow there now. Yep. But it's just things like, it's you go through stages of the content you want to create, the content that you don't want to create, and the content that you go, fuck it, it's good enough. And your community reacts in the way I find very, very similar to your energy. So if you have a really positive energy put into your content, I find that your community is going to react positive. If you're sort of a bit or nonchalant about it, your community is going to go, oh, that was okay, but not great. I've seen better from him or her or whatever, right?
Mm.
But the thing that I've noticed definitely is that it's like, if you're not consistent, your community almost dies overnight. I've realized.
Exactly.
Like that was a huge something I found out hugely is that it's like when I took that break over Christmas recently and then came back, I was like, I had close to 10 streamers. I had close to 10 viewers or what it was generally watching me roughly, quite regularly. And then I come back and it's like a handful again. It's like, yeah, shit. If you drop off that consistency or drop off even for a bit of a break without really updating people regularly about it. I mean, I was updating people, but not as much as I probably should have.
Every day, dude. So not coming back.
I said I was taking a break over Christmas, but I took a break until earlier in this month. So yeah,
I think it'd be nice just to do a massive push and then just have a little bit of a break.
People even my chat said, "Man, Spazzy baby, I'm not going to lie. I haven't noticed you've been streaming." See, there you go. So it's like it's just things like that. It just takes a bit for people to go, "Oh, that person's streaming again."
He's back on. So, exactly.
Yeah,
I took a massive break like after the first year of streaming, and I went like I had like a few months, and I went from like getting 10 views to 0. Great, I've got to rebuild again. But they slowly come back again, and it's fine. It's fine. You just keep going. You don't. I now switch off the view. I don't even look at how many views I got. I switch it off, so I have no idea when I'm streaming.
I mean, I keep mine on, but I don't look at it when I'm streaming. I probably look at it at the end and go, "Oh, cool, that's a good number to finish it on." And then
I would do that.
I look at the stats afterwards because I am a bit of a stat person. But
yeah, stats are nice. But it is really nice not to look at it the entire stream, turn it off, and then be surprised on how many actual people show up.
Yeah, I just like it when I can see my chat moving. If my chat's not moving, I go, especially when I first came back, I was like, my chat is not moving. This is not good. I think the only people that came in were like you and Nick and you and Craig and stuff. It's like, you guys just come here to pay me out and leave. Like, you guys actually haven't come to watch my content. You just come out and go, "Oh, he's streaming. Okay, we're going away now." But I've just found it very, very funny. It's like, even the people who've gone away from like a while. So there's this guy called Yodel. I can't remember his name, but he's basically just announced that he's working for Wargaming, so the people that make World of Tanks and World of Warships and all that sort of stuff. Well, so he's recently just accepted into his a job that he's been wanting for ages, but he says he's had to quit streaming while he's been doing it because it's either part of the conditions or he just wanted to put full time into his into the work that he was doing, and he very quickly realized it's like something that I bet it's like he's done a few sort of odd streams here and there. But you can definitely see the difference.
Vondel, dude. I'm looking it up. Yeah, Vondel, yeah. He's a G, man. I used to join his chat. He's really good.
Yeah, exactly. But when was the last time you watched him?
I watched him playing. The last time I watched was when he was playing Classic WoW for the first time, and I commented on it, and he engaged so much. I was like, wow, this dude's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the last time I had a look at him. I haven't seen him since.
But the point I'm trying to get across here is that it's... if you're a big content creator, or even if you're a small content creator, if you take a break without really sort of informing people, or even when you do inform people, you come back and it's like it's not the same as when you left.
No,
and it takes some time to get that back, and it's sort of like you sort of go to yourself, it's like, is taking breaks worth it? Like, and I'm going to tell you straight out, yes, taking breaks is worth it because it's for your mental insanity. Because when you're working in an industry where people are badgering you all the time about anything or everything, you need to take mental breaks. Because if I'm sitting there and people are going, "Oh, play this, play that," or "What are you doing about this? What are you doing about that?" and it's like, I just go through times. And sometimes I'll be honest. Sometimes I just ignore chat because it's like I see it going off. And it's like, I just need to concentrate on the game because everyone's going to get pissy at me if I fuck this up. But it's, I just find it very interesting that it's like, how does mentally draining sometimes that can be.
Especially when you work full time during the day.
Oh, definitely.
And you come home and you try to stream and you just don't feel 100%.
No, and that's sort of when you realize, all right, guys, I got to cut the stream short. I'm just not feeling it tonight. I need to go to bed. Whatever it is, like there have just been nights where I've gotten home and it's like it's a scheduled streaming night. I'm just gone. I can't be fucked. I can't be fucked.
I just want to watch a movie or something.
I want to watch a movie and go to bed. Or I want some lady contact or something like that. It's all all these things that it's like you just sit there and think, shit, I've got to create content, or I've got to put up a post or something saying I'm not on tonight. So, you've got to do something to interact with the community regularly. If that's telling them you're having a break, telling them you've got to take tonight off, or telling them that, guys, I'm an hour late, give me a sec, let me take my pants off and let me relax for an hour.
Exactly.
Then you come and talk to everyone. Hi, Supplection, how you going? See you, Shadow. See you later. Yeah, sorry, I'm just catching up with chat a little bit. Sorry for your audio listeners, but it's that is a big thing with content creating, is that you have to take breaks, and it's not either it's regular breaks, so it's like you don't stream every day, but you have breaks on the weekends, or if it's taking break for holidays or whatever it is, you just got to do it. And yeah, I mean, that's probably the one thing, and one of the only things I'll ever recommend to someone starting content creating is, keep your head in check.
Exactly.
Obviously there's all the other things you got to do in life and shit. Don't And the other thing, don't put all your eggs into one basket.
It is, realistically speaking, it is crazy unlikely that you're going to blow up and become the next ninja.
Definitely, yeah. That's
especially in YouTube. YouTube's even worse. So even my new platform, it's even
worse.
About 1 in 10 million on YouTube, and Twitch maybe 1 in 1,000. You know, it's a lot. I think it's a lot better odds personally on Twitch.
Exactly. Yes. Sorry. Supplection, I'm good, thank you. And yes, 2 persons having it lovely. Yeah, we're just talking about shit that people don't really like talking about.
Relaxed, yeah, making people uncomfortable. That's what we do.
Making people fucking uncomfortable. That's what we do.
We talk about genitals and we talk about streamers.
I've got a good story about genitals. I'll tell you that one. But supplection. Sorry if I ignore you a little bit. It's just because we're having a chat. But it's anyway, back to content creating. It's just that it's. You gotta think of it in the sense that it's like, if you're gonna get into this sort of genre, you've got to completely understand there are a few things you gotta keep in check. You gotta keep your mental and I'll say this from anything you do in life, you gotta keep your mental health in check, just because your self-health is important. You can't be on doing this if you don't feel right. If you don't feel right, your audience will notice.
Exactly.
And when your audience notice, either they'll be 100% behind you, or you'll get those people who come out and will start attacking you. And it doesn't matter who it is, and all it takes is one person to say something that you just don't like, and you can go spiraling down a hole that is very hard to get out of. And I mean, I personally haven't been there myself, but I know people who have, and it's just not a good thing. So
never a good thing.
You got to be comfortable with putting yourself out there, and if that's putting yourself out there, and not telling people a thing about your personal life, then that's how you do it. But you've got to just keep in mind that if you're having a bad day, probably not a good idea to make content, because either your content will vibe off it, or your content won't enjoy, or your content will suffer because of it.
Very true.
And yeah, as we were saying, it's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So don't think you're going to become the next ninja, because realistically, there's a very, very small percentage that will happen.
And Ninja isn't that big anymore, really.
Well, I mean, he's still a household name. I mean, you go to any kid or any gamer, any parent who's got kids who game, they're going to go, "Oh, that's that ninja.
That's that ninja kid.
That's that ninja kid my kids watch."
Personally, I think Shroud and Doc is the top.
Well, but you got to remember, Ninja's demographic is 6.
Exactly. Yeah, he's probably not targeting at me.
And Doc and Shroud are more our sort of thing, mainly because Doc's probably a little bit older than us, but sort of he's always been in this sort of genre and making. He used to work for the people who make COD, so it's already an 18+ game technically.
Doc, speaking of Doc, he goes against the grain as well. He's a bit edgy. Well, that's why I love him. He records himself pissing. It's good.
that was. I think that was a bit controversial.
That was a one-off.
Yeah, and I pretty think part of that was because I think he actually did want to break. He just wanted to make it.
Yeah.
So this is my what do you call it? Conspiracy theory behind it is that he wanted a break, but he wanted to go out with a bang.
Exactly. He just does. Sometimes he just does not give a fuck. It was
like a forced break. It wasn't like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a break, guys. I want a break, but I'm gonna make it go out with a bang. So when I come back, that's
break for comedy, dude.
That's back onto the conversation about with Bad Bunny when stuff that she's done recently. It sort of made me think, especially because I'm now in this sort of genre. It's like, did Doc actually maybe say to his cameraman beforehand, it's like, follow me everywhere. I mean, everywhere. If I go to a bathroom, you follow me.
We're gonna get viral.
I wouldn't mind to know, like, was there that conversation?
It's crazy.
Or was it just a fuck up and he just rolled with it?
Because it is nuts. It's just I thought that was genius as well. He only got banned for like a month, and then his comeback was massive because everyone was like, "When's he coming back?"
Well, that's the thing, It's like, and when he came back with a fucking like.
Maybe that's how we got to take breaks. Just break TOS.
Break TOS. You know, it's like all of a sudden, the camera sort of just falls down, and it's like, oh no, I'm not wearing pants.
Oh God.
No. Like it's just shit like that. It's have force breaks is, I guess, was what you'd call them, but you've only get 3 of those. I think it's like you get the 24-hour.
Oh God.
Was it 24-hour, 1 week, 1 month, and then perma.
Then you're perma. At least they give you plenty of warning.
No, they don't. They come up with the ban hammer and go, what?
Well, but if you're banned for 24 hours, you're like, oh, I got to be more careful. And then if you're stupid enough to do it again.
So you get banned, and they send you the email telling you why
but banned. So you don't necessarily. So what you're saying, you don't necessarily get banned 1 and then a day and then a month. You can be just banned for a month just randomly.
Yeah. So I think it depends. I think it depends on what you do. So. Okay, I think for what Doc did, I'm pretty sure he got a week for it, so he missed that 24-hour and got a week.
Yep.
But then you got people like Asian Andy. When Asian Andy, before he was got kicked off Twitch, he got the figure. I think he did something that was just a little bit on the edgy side, and he got a 24-hour, he got the week, then a month sort of thing. But it's like. It's basically you get 3 strikes. Sometimes they skip a strike and just give you the whole full out. This is your 3. Here's a month ban.
You are no longer.
You've got no other chances.
You are no longer on this platform.
Yeah, you got no other chances, and that's it. You're done. It's like.
Chad, anything for views got done indefinitely. He can't ever do Twitch anymore.
Well, I think that was a bit self-inflicted.
He's a fucking idiot.
He says things without thinking, so it's like.
And he's friends with Keemstars. That's just the 2 most dangerous shit you can do on the internet.
Well, I mean, Keemstar's very outspoken in his own right, so it's everyone can have their own opinion, but yeah, exactly. Some places it depends on how bad the situation is. So, hey, thank you very much, Bob's and Fajine, my hobby. Okay.
Oh my God, getting trolled, dude.
Yeah, getting trolled on just chatting. Figure that. But obviously that's the other thing, and that's the other thing where it comes up to, is it Twitch people who pick, who gets the bans of what they do? Because you have to think, if you look at all of like a good example like Chad's anything for views, like his ban reasons. I think one of them. I think it was the second one or the third one. Wasn't overly that bad. I think he had a conversation with someone who was high up in the Twitch, and then they got him banned or something. I remember something like that going around. Don't quote me on that. I could be completely wrong. But then Alinity's on the other. A good example is Alinity's on the other side, and she's feeding a cat vodka and all this other shit.
I never know how to say her name, but this streamer's gone to Facebook. Because Twitter banned her over something so weird. What's her name?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. So people, that's the other thing. I mean,
Karina Koff,
or whatever. Yeah, she's part of that David Dobrik squad or whatever you want to call it, the vlog squad or some bullshit.
The vlog squad.
She's gone from one platform to the other, and that's just because I think that's partially because she obviously got a contract or something like that. But it's
she got banned.
Yeah, not completely though, right? I think she got like a 24-hour or something. I don't think she actually got. Because I remember she had a nip slip or something like that. God. Or a side boob slip. She had something sexual slip.
Oh, no. In the past year was pivoted to streaming on Twitch, where she was temporarily barred for wearing only underwear during a stream, which is against platform terms and conditions.
Yeah, because I've leaked someone's IP address because they're announcing I got permanent. Yeah, see, it depends on... exactly some places, so it depends on what you what you actually did. Yeah, it's I
think she was just over getting banned for being herself.
Well, I think that's the thing, she's a very sort of outspoken, sexually orientated woman, she likes to show her boobs or likes to show, being sexy outfits, and sadly on Twitch that's not always approved or looked upon nicely. So, she gets that ban and realizes, or shit, you know, that's some, and she probably went over some of her past VODs and went, shit, I've done some worse stuff than this.
Exactly.
Maybe I should step away from this platform.
Which, my opinion, Twitch should they should loosen their fucking rules up.
I mean, by all means, Twitch TOS, I understand why they have these rules in place. But yes, I think some of them need to be looked at or revisited.
Some things are against like craziness, so I mean, like permanently ban them. That's fine if they're like.
Well, see, that's the other thing upset Spaghetti is that it's like, you know, people like Sweet and Nitty who actually have a medical problem. Things, she's Tourette's, so she swears like and says some pretty horrible. If you just came in to took it out of context, you would think she'd say some pretty horrible stuff. But because she has a medical issue, TOS, like when for some of the things she says and talks about, doesn't get like they might get reported by people, but Twitch goes, well, she's actually got a medical issue. You know, if we start banning her for this, we're going to have to look at everyone who said anything bad.
There'll be an uproar because she can't help it.
Yeah, there'll be a huge uproar. No, she can't help it. That's the thing, you know. It's a medical issue, but it's like, then you get that person who said something in the heat of the moment. Wouldn't that be classified as like, oh, it was just heat of the moment, I won't say it again? It's like, no, we can't. It's like walking into a store and shooting someone, saying, "Oh, it was heat of the moment, I won't do it again," and then walking away. You know, that's not gonna fucking fly. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna go to jail. You're not gonna walk away from that one. You know,
it's not an excuse. It's not
an excuse. You know, it's like, I understand with medical reasons. It's like, it's why people, you know, if people get arrested for a medical condition, yes, they might get arrested first out, might be a horrible experience for them, but then they're generally, all the charges are dropped and a lot of the time they're released.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously it depends on the situation, what actually happens, but you know, it's like, I've heard of people who do have Tourette's who have been arrested because they're having an episode or having a, you know, a freak out or whatever it is, and, you know, they get arrested, and most of the time, the reason they're getting arrested is to get them away from that situation that's causing them to have that freak out. You know, everyone says you shouldn't arrest mentally ill people and all that, and it's like, by all rights, they shouldn't be arresting mentally ill people. But half of the reason they're being, you know, some of the reason why they're being arrested is to get them away from that situation or taken away in an ambulance because they're trying to we're trying to help, you know, help the person by getting them out of the situation that's making them freak out.
Could you imagine if they just left them there and something happened?
Well, exactly.
Like, not just speaking of Tourette's, like if they had, I don't know, schizophrenia or something, and they were just going off.
Yeah, well, exactly. You know, it's like when someone when the police get a call or the ambulance get a call saying someone's having a freak out, you know, or whatever, and then the police kind of see around, this person's probably got something mentally wrong with them or mentally upsetting them or whatever it is. You know, as a policeman or as a fiery, as whatever, you got to think of the situation and go, right, the best thing I can probably do is arrest this person and get this person away from the situation and then figure out what's going wrong. I can't just put them in cuffs and slap him back of a paddy wagon and put him in a jail pen overnight.
Exactly.
That's not going to help them. But and that's how, and see, everyone sees that differently. So it's like, as I guess, you know, as the citizens, we see it as that poor mental person that's getting arrested, being taken away. Oh, that's not good. Let's have an uproar. But in actual fact, that person has actually been taken away from that situation and, you know, put in a place, or, you know, looked after in the sense that, okay, what's going on? What happened? Why we had the freak out? Is there help that we can now give you because you're out of that dangerous situation?
It's crazy.
You know, if that dangerous situation is either inflicting harm on themselves or them to others, and that's the thing. That's the thing, and you know, and partially, I think that's where some of these rules on Twitch have come from. Is that, you know, if someone's having a mental breakdown on Twitch, we're not just going to ban them for that. You can't ban people for that.
Exactly.
You can't, you know. So, you know, people like, you know, Sweet Anita and all that who do have Tourette's and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's like, and it's the same with, you know, when people have mental episodes. Like, you know, there's been a couple of episodes where a guy had he was doing I think he was doing like a 48-hour stream. He ended up having a seizure towards the end of it, or some shit like that.
Understandable. That's a long time to be visually stimulated.
I don't know if it was a seizure. I don't know what you'd call it. It was a
It's probably like
blinking lights thing. Or
I had a friend that had a seizure because he did like a gaming session when he was young, and he did like almost 24 hours just playing PlayStation 1.
Yeah, and it's like some people cried for outroar because it's like he's self-harming himself.
Exactly.
Epilepsy. Thank you, PV Willie. Thank you. That's what I was thinking.
Epilepsy.
And let's just say this guy had an epilepsy fit at the end, towards the end of like a 40-hour stream. I can't remember the guy's name or the Twitch streamer's name, but I think I don't know. He's regardless of who he was, he had an epilepsy fit towards the end of the thing, and there were people in his chat saying, well, he caused this himself, he should be reported for self-harm, but how is that any different from, someone boozing themselves to get subscriptions?
Exactly.
Like, it's like an epilepsy fit can't be seen as something that's very similar. So, by all means, I understand why Twitch has these situations, but you got to remember, it's like if this happened outside of on the internet or on Twitch per se, people would be putting out their hand to help. People wouldn't be sitting there slandering them and telling them this is their fault and all that sort of stuff. I mean, there are certain things that are your fault, definitely, but there are things that are out of your control. And I think that's what a lot of people don't quite understand when it comes to Twitch.
Well, he probably wasn't planning on having a seizure.
No, exactly. No one plans to sit there, all right, guys, I'm going to play this flashing game and have an epilepsy fit on stream. That's not what goes through people's minds.
No. When
that sort of shit happens. And I understand why people get all mad at people like Lady and stuff when, she feeds vodka to her cats and all this sort of shit. That stuff is premeditated. When it's premeditated, there's an issue. But when it's not premeditated, that's where the line is drawn. So I think, like I said, back to the whole start of this conversation, there are rules that Twitch, I think, they need to look at people's situations and things a bit better, because I do think sometimes they are taken out of context and, Twitch slaps them with a ban or whatever it is. But then there are some times where they don't get given a ban and they probably should have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, moving
do you
on.
Agree or,
I do agree.
Yeah.
I have a pressing matter. What browser do you use?
Like web browser?
Yeah.
Firefox.
Oh, Firefox. Oh, I use Chrome because I'm a Google fucking slave, and I got a ad the other day. I think it was on Instagram or Twitter. It was for. Have you ever heard of Toomix?
Sorry, what? Say again.
TOOMICS. Toomix.
No, I haven't.
I don't know why I pressed. I don't even remember pressing on it.
Is it like Bing sort of thing?
No, it's like it was comics. I thought it was comics, and then it's like when I got a free 20-page thing, and when I got to like the 18th page, it turned into hentai. What the fuck have I searched to get this? And I didn't get it because you got to pay like a ridiculous amount. I'm not paying that. That's just. I kind of see the entertainment in it, but I probably wouldn't pay for it.
The hentai's too expensive for you, is it?
Oh, I was just like, I got a service that's because I was interested in the comics. I was like, this is dope. Like So I got a similar service called, what is it? It's not as fucking full frontal. It's a little more. It's a little more tame.
Soft, a little more softcore.
Yeah, a bit of softcore. Webtoon, dude. Webtoon has like just free everything. I haven't had to pay for anything, and I'm just normal comics that are not Japanese based to Japanese based ones. It's crazy.
Yeah, well,
so that's what I base that, and that's from originally getting a pesty ad that I accidentally clicked on.
Yeah, that's fucking advertisement at its best. You click on one thing. It's sort of like it's sort of like our Facebook feeds or our Twitter feeds and stuff. All it takes is you liking certain advertisements, certain things that are attached to.
And they
so a good example.
grab
it. A good example is I was on. What was I fucking on? I think I was on Facebook, and I clicked on someone's link about fishing. Just because I'm an avid fisherman myself, I like a bit of fishing, and for the next 3 weeks, I get bombarded by bait ads, places to do charters, all this sort of just fishing oriented shit. It's like I commented or like one person's thing,
And they just grabbed it. Well, I'm also getting ads for GoPros like non-stop. I've already bought the fucking thing. Stop sending me ads for it. It's like non-stop.
It's like
this is the one. I can upgrade to a max, but I don't think I will. This is more than enough.
Don't GoPros come out just as much as fucking iPhones?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
I'm just going to catch up with chat here a little bit.
Catch up with chat, man.
Twitch should provide streamers with a VPN when Prime is purchased. Oh, that's not good. That's a good topic.
That's a good incentive.
Yeah, we could have a quick chat about that. Epilepsy, unintentional self-harm. If you want to argue the point, his intent wasn't the yeah, exactly. PV Willie, yeah. EU Firefox from radiation, Windows 7 looking us. Windows 10 is still playing with problems. I'm going to keep my unupgraded Windows 7 until Windows 10 becomes better.
I'm the most advanced human. Windows 10 running Chrome. How advanced is that, dude? That is very mainstream of me.
The reason I use Firefox over Chrome is I didn't say it looked horrible, radiation. I said it's got fucking played with problems. There are actual encoded issues, and you look fucking weird doing that. There are actual encoded problems still wrong with Windows. You know, the amount of times I still hear problems with people in games going, "Oh, this doesn't work because fucking Windows 10 is a cunt." You know, it's you see, okay, it works. See, it works fine for, you know, I'm sure it works fine for 90% of people, but I still hear more issues about Windows 10 as an operating system than I've ever heard about Windows 7. So, you know, until Windows 7 pretty much stops working for everything for me, I'll keep Windows 7 for as long as I can.
Which is not that long away.
Which is probably about 2-3 months away. But, you know, so I'm going to be forced to change anyway. But,
well, you get Windows 8, dude. It's the best.
Windows XP was the best. Yeah, Windows XP was the best.
I'm a big fan of Windows 8, man.
Everything has, well, of course, radiation. Everything has issues. I just like Windows 7 compared to Windows 10 at the moment, and I'm going to stick with that. Okay,
Linux, dude.
As much as you slam me for having Windows 7, I'm going to keep Windows 7 and use Windows 10 when it becomes applicable.
Let's change our gaming group to the Linux gamers, dude.
The Linux game. I'm sure there's a group out there who call themselves the Linux gamers. I think we'll stick with NFGG.
We just run off Linux, dude. That's it.
Oh, wow. But it's what we're going to talk about. Someone's posted something. I forgot. The chat's moving so fast now.
Oh shit! Chat moving fast.
Who thinks Twitch should provide streamers with VPN when Prime is paid? Okay, so that's a good thing. So most people know, especially if they're on Twitch, you should know what Twitch Prime is. Subscribe to Twitch Prime now. Hey, there you go. Yes, with the host. Thank you very much. Yes, very much appreciated. But it's where basically Twitch Prime is basically you get a free subscription, you get a free bunch of other shit from with Amazon with subscribing and such. Sellout, yes, radiation. I'm a huge sellout. Thank you for pointing that out. The guy who still uses Windows 7 is a fucking sellout. Apparently, I am. But yeah, no, I think VPN should be provided with Twitch Prime.
Does Amazon care for your privacy though?
Well, I mean, Amazon sends you fucking giant 1,000-liter tubs of lube. Why can't they provide it with a bit of internet security? You know.
Well, use my referral code for NordVPN, dude. I love Nord. Nord is my favorite VPN service.
NordVPN service. Yeah.
I am a computer whiz. Look at me. Mwahaha. No, I've completely lost my mind.
I didn't ignore him, man. I said thank you very much for the host, Upset Spaghetti. Gosh, man, pay attention. I was a couple of seconds late. I apologize. But
my glasses are not working.
What was I saying? Amazon and VPN. So Amazon. I mean, by all means, as a business perspective, going into a VPN service or buying out one would be a very, profitable thing for them. I don't see that being a bad thing, but you got to remember also, Supplection, that if you Supplection, who asked that? Was it? No, it's PV.
We're going to add more benefits to Prime.
Yeah, so yeah, if you start adding things to Twitch Prime. You remember the price is going to go up. So what's Twitch Prime at the moment? Like $15 or some shit?
Do you actually use anything like the benefits from Twitch Prime?
Oh well, I don't have Twitch Prime, so there you go. But Twitch streamer does.
I know there's just overflow of stuff that I don't play, and I don't look at really the benefits you get from gaming anyway.
Very much appreciated. Windows 10 for life.
I love Prime Video, so.
Well, I mean, I've never used. I think I got the 1 free month when you sign up with Amazon and all that sort of shit.
Yeah. Amazon Prime's amazing, like getting free shipping for just random shit.
Oh, the free shipping, yes. These are some of the other benefits you get from it. So, people who don't know, if you subscribe to Twitch Prime, it's through Amazon. Amazon's the big corporate head of Twitch and all that sort of shit. And you get all this cool Amazon shit with Twitch Prime.
Twitch Prime's just an add-on.
Twitch Prime's the add-on. What is it? It's Amazon. Is it Amazon Prime or something?
I think Amazon, before they do anything for Twitch Prime, they'd do something for Amazon Prime, which would be I don't know what they can do else. They give music,
well, they do
discounted music.
They do the discounted music. Do the free shipping, and they also do their movie service or whatever. Their rental
Prime Video.
Service. Prime Video.
Well, you get Prime Video, which is basically on demand, and then you've.
Yeah,
I think
it's basically their competition to Netflix, pretty much.
And it's not bad. It's got some pretty good shows on it.
Oh yeah, definitely does. I'm trying to figure out what that sound is. I think my housemate's boarding the lawn. But it's it's just another. It's their basic their competition to Netflix, as like Uber's competition to rideshare is Lyft.
Exactly. Good old Lyft. Lyft hasn't come to Australia yet, has it?
It probably won't. We've got the other ones. So we've got we got Ula
and Dido.
Ula, depending how you want to pronounce it. Dido. Is that the all female one?
No, I don't think so.
There's also an all female one where it's driven by female drivers, and you've only female passengers can use it. I've seen a little bit about it here, but obviously being a dude, I have no experience with it. But that's I'm pretty sure there's that here as well. But I don't think Lyft will come to Australia just because, one, there's already competition here, an established competition, and if they came here now, it's sort of be like
oversaturated.
Oversaturated from effectively what they'd be almost competing for pricings in the sense of, I mean, in America, they're a huge competition. They've got, I mean, Lyft's bigger in America than it is Uber, funnily enough. That's my understanding. I could be wrong. There's Americans here, please tell me.
I'm pretty sure Lyft is the way that they present their business is they're more ethical, whereas Uber's more of a mega corporation.
I think that's right.
And that's why they like it so much. Like
your Porsche, Priest, my chair's been dying for a while. I need to get a new one at some point, but it's until it actually physically properly breaks, it just squeaks a lot.
That's the same as mine.
I was going to hit it with some WD-40 at some point.
I'm pretty sure Lyft invented the tip service in the apps.
Well, yeah, they did. Yeah. So, I think it's.
Well, they didn't invent it. Tips have been around, but
tips have been a thing in America forever. So, tipping in America is like us paying GST on our initial price of things here.
Yep, exactly. But all that money goes to the government. Doesn't go to the
two stabs at America and one there.
Yeah,
that's another interesting topic. Why in America do you pay? So you go to the supermarket, right? This is what I've been told and what I've seen is that you see a price at Walmart or something that says $5 for the whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And then you go up to the cash register and all of a sudden you got to pay $20.
What?
It's because they add the tax. They don't put the tax in the initial price.
That's stupid. What the hell?
It doesn't make sense. As Australians and the rest of the world, it doesn't make sense. Why put a price tag on something and then go to the cash? It's like
you have to figure it out in your head, like how much it costs.
Yeah, exactly. It's
and it's already hard enough.
Different states have different sales tax. So that's even worse. That's even worse. So it's like, okay, I'm in Texas, and it's like the tax sale was 7.5%. So you pay $10, you got to pay $17.50 at the cash register.
What?
Oh, but I'm gonna go over the state line and go to a barbecue joint because I heard it's good, and I don't know the tax difference, and I take $30, and it's like, oh, okay, I know that if I spend $20, it's going to cost me $30 or whatever. Go pay for it. Oh, it's going to cost you $35 today. It's like, what? What? Why?
And on top,
why have you done this?
On top of that, if you're an Australian tourist, you have to also convert AUD to get like a concept of.
It's even worse for tourists. So it's like you go there, it says on the menu saying $30 for your lobster and lobster rolls or whatever.
Wow, that's cheap.
No, that's like you're sitting there as Australian going, oh wow, that's fucking good. You know, that's a seafood dinner right there. Get to the fucking cashier to realize you got a fork over an arm and a fucking leg.
This is the first time.
We won't tell you about the other leg you got to pay as well.
This is the first time I've ever heard of this. I've been to America. I was really young.
Yeah, no.
And I didn't pay for anything because I was an little
you're
kid.
You're an infant, so you know all of a sudden it's like, so you sort of got to go up to the cash register and go.
That is strange.
Well, I have no idea how much I got to pay, but I'll just listen to you because that's what I got to do.
What?
You know, like hello.
Well,
so if you got $5 in your pocket, and you go, all right, I just want to get a drink and a bag of chips or something, right? You can't spend the full $5 because you got to go. How much tax is on this? Like, you know, it's like, wouldn't it be easy if it was in the price? But nah, we're not going to do that. We're just going to fuck you around at the cash register and take all your money. Like, the fuck?
It was already hard enough. When I did go to Europe, I could use my own money. And I had to always get my phone out to, like, euros. I figured it out eventually, but you got to have like a few.
So chat is telling me Texas is great because they actually don't have sales tax.
Yes.
So if I was going to move anywhere, Texas would be.
Let's go to Texas.
Go to Texas. No sales tax.
But like pounds, if you go to UK, pounds are like almost half of where value is almost half of a pound, so 50 cents to £1 or whatever. So you can kind of guess if something's £20, it's going to be $40 Australian or whatever, if that makes sense. Did I do it around the right way?
I think you did, yeah.
No, I did it around the wrong way, isn't it?
If it's £20, it would be $40 here.
Yeah.
Hawaii has the highest. Sales. See, I wouldn't care.
Is it Hawaii is it the highest sales tax? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Hawaii's got the highest.
Damn it!
I
want to go to Hawaii. Damn it.
So, you know, just be prepared that don't spend the whole $50 on whatever you're buying. Save some for sales tax.
I can only imagine how much alcohol costs there. They just add extra tax.
No, even still, it's still cheaper than here.
Oh, damn it. We got all stupid tax.
We might just the Americans about sales tax and tips and their pay scale and all that bullshit. Then you come to Australia and get screwed for a bottle of alcohol.
It's so expensive here because we can't. Australians cannot handle piss. We get on it and then we punch someone and kill someone and stuff like that. That's what happens.
Well, in America, they shoot someone. So
I know.
We're in the difference. I mean,
if we put it like that, maybe Australia makes more sense at controlling stuff. Like we don't have any guns and we've got all these taxes, so you can't get blind drunk every day. Well, you can. But you just pay out the fucking wazoo for it. But no, it's just very interesting that it's like you look at. There are a lot of things that every country does similar, different, or whatever. Like, you know, we can sit here and belittle freaking sales tax because it's not included in the and we're
initial
just
price.
as bad.
But you know, we're on the other side of the argument where fucking alcohol and tobacco is very, very fucking expensive here. Everywhere else it's very cheap.
What the hell is going on?
Which is sort of interesting. In Australia, we sort of can see it's like, you know, we see alcohol and tobacco as, you know, you've got to be an adult to have these things, but we're going to make them high price because they can still kill you.
Exactly.
But if you live anywhere else, it's like, fuck it, you know, you got to be the right age to buy these things, but once it's the right age, it's your own fucking choice. And I think that's how it should be. It should be, you know, when you hit the correct age limit of your country, so that's 21, 18, 20, whatever it is, you know, you have the decision. If you want to kill yourself with tobacco and alcohol and prescription drugs, you should be able to. Not
Darwin.
Darwinism,
dude.
Not the sense of, you know, go buy lots of these things and then purposely kill yourself. I mean, in the sense that, you know, the government shouldn't be stepping in things that are legal and charging the fucking tax wazoo out of them.
It's okay to make. You're saying if you want to make poor health decisions, you can do it.
You should be able to do it. Yes, correct.
If it's your choice and you know the consequence, I suppose.
Well, I mean, it's like, you know, it's like I guess it's like food, for example. You know, it's like
food's the complete opposite.
No, but you know, there are right things, the right foods you should eat, and the foods you shouldn't eat that often.
Have you eating bad is so much cheaper than eating good? Like, it's completely
Well,
opposite.
I actually have to admit, yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, which is weird, you know. It's like
Yeah.
you want to be healthy, but you're gonna be fat beforehand. No, but it's I just find it very, very funny that it's like we have these things that we say that are illegal, but we're gonna charge you an arm and a fucking leg for them because they might do some harm. I mean, I understand the government's idea behind it. You know, we're gonna make these things very expensive, but it's like, you know, we're gonna take away your right to
have a choice. Yeah,
have a choice, which is another interesting concept as well. Is that do we really have free choice, or is it a choice that is presented to us that we consider is free choice?
I think we all got to move to Europe. That's what we've got from this.
Move to Europe.
They don't have sale taxes or whatever you're talking about.
Well, neither do we.
And they don't have...
I mean, if it is, it's included in our price.
They don't have ridiculous alcohol taxes and all that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe. Yeah, Europe's the middle ground by the sounds of it.
You might have to learn a different language depending on where you are, but, you know, that's okay.
They changed the law from 18 to 21 to... Yeah, so, you know, it depends on everything, but you're not allowed to... Why would you want to... Why are you carrying out a knife to begin with?
What?
One of my viewers just says, okay, but you're not allowed to have a knife. It's like, yeah, in most places you're not allowed to be carrying a knife on the street.
Is this in Australia? Especially in Australia.
Kitchen, what, man, what are you on? What planet are you on? You can't be walking the streets with a knife. I mean,
you can, but you'll be caught.
Well, a good example, actually, of that is like, by trade, I'm a butcher, alright? And if I wanted to take public transport home with my knives, I had to wrap them in Glad wrap and wrap them in like I've got this container they sit in, which is like a belt thing with a sleeve on your side, and you put all your things in that and all that sort of stuff. Or you put them in the sleeve while you work and all that sort of stuff. So if I wanted to take them home to sharpen, look after, or to use them even at home, like cooking or butchering implements, I had to wrap them in Glad wrap and I had to put them in the boot of my car.
Jesus.
Because if I was caught with them like in my backpack or like that isn't in the boot of my car, or that's in like, you know, in my back seat or someone that's accessible and not covered in Glad wrap, yeah, it's considered a deadly weapon, as my chat says. You know, it's like you either have to have a permit or you have to carry them in such a way that isn't considered threatening.
Accessible.
Easily
accessible.
Or easily accessible in the terms here it is in Australia, yeah.
Yeah. Concealed.
Yeah, and then we got someone here. I carry a gun on my hip. People are very polite. Yeah, I'm sure if I carried a gun on my hip too, people would be very fucking polite.
Isn't that Texas? Yeah. They have like the open gun.
Well, I think every state's different. So I mean, exactly. I'm pretty sure in America you've got two different types of my understanding. So you've got open carry, so people can see you're carrying it, and then you got concealed carry, so people don't know you're carrying it. And
I don't know what's worse.
Well, I'm sort of sitting here. It's like, you know, we've had like in New Zealand. If you want to classify New Zealand, bundle New Zealand in with Australia for this argument, we will. But New Zealand and Australia have had two big gun incident, I guess catastrophes, if that's what you want to call them, because of a massive loss of human life. Catastrophes and laws change forever. So in Australia it was the Port Arthur incident. In New Zealand it was the most recent, last year, 2018? I can't remember the date.
Yeah.
With the mosque shooting, and it was something else that he shot the mosque and he went somewhere else and shot a bunch of people as well. Yeah. Regardless, you know, so the laws changed. So you know, so all of a sudden, fucking, you know, guns are outlawed pretty much. I mean, if you're carrying a gun here in Australia, I think it's a minimum. If you get found with an unlicensed weapon or any sort of some sort of firearm that isn't licensed under you or whatever it is. So if I drove around with my dad's shotgun in the back, because my dad's a farmer, if I drove around in town with the shotgun in the back, and I don't have a license, I think not only do I get fined, but it's a minimum 10-year sentence. Minimum.
Jesus.
You know, so carrying guns here is a fucking bad, like, you know, guns are fucking serious. It's not just...
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, minimum 10 years. Yeah, I think that's in every state's different, but yeah, I think minimum across the board is 10 years. I think in Northern Territory is even worse. I think it's like 25 years minimum.
Jesus.
Like, you know, and I think Victoria
Don't get caught up there.
Victoria's like 15 or 20. New South Wales, I'm pretty sure is 10. I know South Australia is 10 minimum, and I think pretty sure like Victoria's like, I think Victoria's the most lenient one with 9 years or something like that. But it's not. It's, I mean, fucking 9 years in jail for just having the weapon. Like, even if I had my even if it was in a lockbox in my car, sort of thing, and my dad was in the car, I would still probably get in jail, or not in jail, but in trouble for you know, because I'm the driver of the vehicle. So it's not it's you know, it's like with anything. So it's like if in Australia, if you're driving a vehicle and you know you've got 3 kids in the back seat and they're all mucking around, one hasn't got that seatbelt on, some bullshit like that. As the driver, I'm going to get in trouble because those people aren't secure.
Yep. We've got strict.
We got very strict road rules.
Seatbelt, helmets as well. Strict. We're like one of the strictest. Queensland's one of the strictest in helmets.
Yeah, Australia in general is just very strict with driving across the board. Like, you know, so it's like
if you don't have a helmet on riding a bike, it's like you get a fine.
You get a fine. Yeah, it's like it's really strict. If you, so a good example of someone like myself who I drive a lot. So on a full license, you have 12 points. And so a couple of months back, I did the wrong thing, and I was trying to follow a bus around around a corner in an intersection, and I thought I was clear, but wasn't because I couldn't quite see the light properly. Realized that the bus was half going around on the red. I went over the line on the red, and luckily it didn't cause an accident or anything like that. But I just got flashed by the red light camera. $500 and 3 demerit points. You know, so fucking Australia is serious about its fucking road laws.
They don't fuck around.
It's not, and that was just that's what people classify as a minor offense. You know, that's something that is considered, you know, is very, very minor. You know, I was trying to get around with the bus because I couldn't be asked waiting for the light. Change again. I will admit that the intersection I did dinner was a fucking horrid intersection because it takes forever for you to get a turn right signal on that intersection. But yeah, I fucked up. I should have waited, but I was just impatient, and I got fucking done for it. And it's a fucking horrible thing. It's not that, you know, and someone like myself, I rely on my license to do my job, as most people do in this country to get to work, go to work, or do their job. You know, 3 demerit points is like, fuck, now I've gone from 12 to 9. If I fuck up 1 or 2 more times, you know, I could be looking at the possibility of losing my license, and I'll be fucked.
It's insane.
Know? And it's, I mean, by all means, I love this country, and I love the laws we put in place, but some of them are are very strict, and when you get caught and you go, fuck, this is a cunt, now I'm going to pay this bill, or lose all these points for a year, you know, all this sort of shit. But then it's like you go, well, I'm sort of glad that these people that, you know, like a good example, like, you know, I'm not glad that these things happened, but it's like, you know, I'm sort of glad that some sort of incident that's happened where the laws had to be flipped on their head and changed because something horrible happened.
Reaction to it, yeah.
You know, reaction to it, you know. It's like, I wish we could have, you know, I wish there were things we could have done before the Port Arthur, you know, maybe some of those families or someone around these people realize, oh, these people are doing the wrong thing, or, you know, maybe suggested, maybe we should check these people out and stuff. But I mean, that still wouldn't have changed the laws. You know, if it wasn't the Port Arthur incident, it would have been somewhere else. And if it wasn't this mosque shooting in New Zealand, it would have been someplace else or someone else. You know, it's some of these laws should have been changed a long time ago, and they're not. And you know, a good example is that in America, for example, you know, I understand, you know, it's in the fucking Constitution, but the fucking Constitution is over 100 years old. You know, hello.
You don't have to take it word for word.
Yeah, you know, you changed gay marriage, and I'm pretty sure that said somewhere in your book of laws in America or anywhere else in the world that, you know, it's like, oh, gay marriage is bad and all this sort of shit. Well, we fucking changed it. Why can't you change the gun laws? You know, it's like, I understand, you know, by the way, you can still get guns here in Australia. You just got to have a proper reason why. So you got to be a farmer, an avid shooter, that use on ranges and in competitions and stuff, and or you work in an area where you need a gun. So it's like you got to be able to defend yourself from fucking dangerous animals like feral pigs and all that sort of shit. And
it's tightly regulated. They know what gun you have.
Yeah, and it's even tightly regulated in the sense that if you get a paintball gun, which I used to own, the police can come knock on your door at any time where you have that license registered to, and check that you've got it locked away properly. So, not long after I got my gun license for being on the farm and being on a for paintballing, about 3 months after I bought my first paintball gun, the local copper, and there's only one local copper in the town that I was living in, came down to our farm, knocked on our door, and said, "I'm here for a random checkup because you're a young adult, and you've just bought a firearm. I need to check that it's securely locked away." So I took him to my where I kept it in my dad's gun safe. So I kept it in my dad's gun safe, which I had access to because I did have a proper gun license. I didn't have any of his guns under my name, so I could use them because he's my father, but I can't use them without his presence, sort of thing, if that makes sense. I'm legal to use them, but couldn't use them without him there. The law's a bit funny like that, so it's like I could use my dad's guns, but I can only use them in his presence, pretty much.
That's crazy. I'd have none of that.
So
hardly ever shot a gun.
But because my dad had a gun safe bolted in, like diamond bolted into the cement, there's no way you're getting that bitch out. So I had to show them the safe. I had to show them that the keys were in a place that they weren't able to access, and there are two different sets of keys. So the keys to where you keep the bullets, and there are keys to the actual gun safe. So you can never access both, unless you've got both sets of keys. So if someone's able to bust open that gun safe, they'll then have to go through the process of busting open the bullet cabinet inside.
That is so smart. I've never thought of that.
Yeah, so it's like, and that's legal, and it's illegal in Australia to have all of them in the one place where they can be accessed with the same set of keys. So if you look at any gun safe made here in Australia, there is a gun cabinet thing, there's a bullet cabinet thing, and there is then the locker safe sort of thing. And and the other thing is if you're traveling, so let's say if you're going on a hunting trip or something like that, your bullets cannot be in the same place that the camera is.
Crazy.
So yeah, so the police copper came over, checked that I had it in a locker, so checked the bullets for the paint gun were somewhere separate to the gun and everything. And it was actually, I'm pretty sure it was doing a test because I also got put onto my dad's gun license and stuff to be able to use his guns and stuff. So I'm pretty sure that's really what it was there about. But regardless, I bought my first firearm by myself with a registered fire license. And and the thing is, you have to go to a course as well. It's not just go to the
Walmart.
license plate, the license. Yeah, you've got to go to you got to go through it. It's like I went through a 3-day course. So I went through a 3-day course of gun safety. Gun safety, gun regulation, everything. So I got to shoot a gun, but I got to learn how to clear jams. So it's like, that's the other thing as well. It's like, not only when I was in Army Cadets, I got to learn all this stuff about firearms and all that sort of stuff as a cadet, but as a farm kid, I already knew how to operate guns and all that sort of stuff because I had to go do this fucking course to get my license. And they teach you everything about gun safety. They teach you how to clear jams, what to do when you don't know when a gun's loaded or not, when all this sort of stuff that you just got to do to operate guns safely around other people and in places where you're shooting, so they can give you a license. If you don't pass that course, so let's say if you fail something on that course, you can't reapply for it for 2 years.
It's worse than a driving course.
Yeah, it's worse than a fucking driving. So if you fuck up on that course and you start waving a gun about or some bullshit like that, I think you're fucking a cowboy on a horse or some shit. I'm pretty sure the guy told me. The laws have probably changed now, and they're probably a bit more different now. But when I was doing that course, that guy said, if you fuck up on this course, you cannot come back for 2 years.
Jeez.
And it's done through the TAFE Association, which is like, it's not university. I mean, how do I explain?
It's just like vocational like trades and stuff.
It's another way to get licenses and
like
coursework.
You want to become
like
a plumber. You have to do certificates and stuff like that to prove that you can. It's just like trades and other just random stuff that you don't need degrees for, I suppose. Trades. That's basically.
Yeah, and
cooking as well. Like it's got heaps of stuff. It's just really different.
Fuck regulation state. You see, this is. I guess this is part of the argument. I guess it's like as an Australian, I completely understand and respect gun regulation and all that sort of stuff. But the last thing one of the most scariest things that I could think about as an Australian, because we don't see it regularly, is I couldn't imagine walking into a supermarket and someone walking around with a gun on their hip. It would scare the fucking shit out of me.
We would run out of there.
We'd be fucking highboarding up there in the fucking hills. It's like, see you later, buddy.
And most of the doctors that have grown up in Australia, just generally speaking, don't have a lot of experience with gunshots because they don't see them very often. It's not a common thing. Like, they probably know how to treat it, and they will know how to do it. But it's not it's like a once-in-a-lifetime experience they might get out at a property with someone who's accidentally shot themselves.
As an ER doctor, we don't have special teams that designate around gunshots because the only people who deal with gunshots are the police.
And you get stories in America where that's all that some doctors do.
That's all some ER emergency people deal with is fucking shootings, And it's like they got specialized units which are designated around, we're only here to deal with gunshot wounds. We don't deal with anything else.
That would be so scary.
To us, that's fucking scary, and it's like, by all means, I understand, it's like, but it's like people, there are two things that I see in America that, I think is correct. There are people who use guns regularly, who understand and respect them and understand that, they're dangerous things and use them correctly. And then you got people who, like gang members and stuff like that, who use them to intentionally cause harm to the public or to other people. And then they don't use them in the right way. So, that's like...
And it's usually the minority that ruin it for the majority.
Exactly. Exactly, So it's like, for exactly what happened here with the Port Arthur incident and what happened in New Zealand with the mosque incident, it's like, it takes two sort of very hateful, spiteful people that go out and do something fucking horrid with these instruments or whatever you want to fucking call them, and fucking ruin it for the rest of us. It's like, we can't buy big rifles anymore. We can't buy handguns that you can keep in your car. We can't buy all these things. Like, the only way to operate and use a handgun in Australia is if you buy it and keep it locked up at a gun course or at a gun range. You can't take a pistol home and put it in. That's the other thing as well. So even as my father has a gun locker and all that sort of stuff, I couldn't go buy a firearm and then keep it in that locker. I wouldn't be able to. By regulation and law, I wouldn't be able to. And as a citizen, I wouldn't be able to. There are certain things you can do. So, I'm pretty sure policemen can take their police weapons home. I'm pretty sure, certain people. So I was like, pretty sure there are feral pig hunters who do, they do special training and all that sort of stuff. They can actually take their handguns home, but that's because they use them for their work and they can't always go to a gun range and take them out, sort of thing. But it's there's going to be certain circumstances why I need to get a firearm. Like, as a citizen, someone who lives in a city, the only way I'd be able to get a handgun is if I went to a gun range, bought a handgun, and just stays there, pretty much. No, the only time I'd be able to use it is for
target
gun
practice,
range, or if I move to another gun range or something like that, it's got to be put in a special armored truck and shipped there.
Crazy.
Rightfully
so.
That's all right, man. Thank you for hanging around, man. Thank you for conversating, and I'll see you later. Says goodbye, Cody, as well.
the piece.
Yeah, that's what we got to deal with here in Australia. It's not like, and it's like in America. I understand, it's in your constitution and all that sort of shit. But how many times a year do you have fucking school shootings? If there was a school shooting here in Australia, it would decimate the country. The whole country would be going.
We'd probably get rid of guns altogether. together.
The rules would get even harder.
Yeah.
It would be even more impossible to get guns. Like the guns that criminals get here are either very crudely homemade guns or they're stolen from farmers.
Yeah.
It's the only way you get guns here. It's the only way people get guns here. And if they are poorly made, you know, they'll generally backfire in your face sooner than they will hurt someone else.
God.
You know,
Dodgy land.
Our criminals will never give up. Yeah, so I guess that's the other problem as well. You've got so many guns across everyone that it's like
impossible.
You know, impossible. You know, I mean, something that happened after the Port Arthur incident. What the government did, they did a big amnesty thing where come and hand in all your, I guess, non-legal guns effectively, and we'll give you money and there'll be no charges. So they actually paid you to bring in your weapons. So you know, some of these old fellas were bringing in fucking, you know, things they got from World War II and you know, fucking shit they brought from overseas.
Elephant rifles.
You know, yeah, exactly. You know, it's like I think there's this big. It's like there's this town not so far from where I live called Robe, and there's this monument in Robe. There's a sea mine. This sea mine floated in from World War II and floated in near into where the thing sleeps. But it wasn't collected by the police to begin with or from the town. It was collected from a fisherman, and then he kept it until the amnesty turned up and he says, "Oh, this was floating in the fucking ocean." You know, he rocks up to this amnesty thing with the sea mine strapped into the back of his ute.
Here you go, take it.
You know, it's
Give
not
me
legal.
money.
What do I get for this? You know, like it's like, you know, that's how I personally think. If you're gonna regulate guns in America, you're gonna put all those amnesty things. You're always gonna have criminals who are gonna keep them like, you know, shit. There are even criminals these days in Australia who still turn up, you know, whenever they get house raided or whatever happens. You know, there are still crims. You know, that's like you've got the old World War II sort of like what's the British gun where you put the clip on the side?
No,
not the Bren gun or something. It's a submachine gun. You still see some of them turn up occasionally.
Jesus.
You know, very, very rarely, but you see them happen. Like what? I think in the 1990s, roughly one of the biker gangs, the Comancheros or the Banditos.
Good old.
One of their houses raided, found a fucking like one of those guns in there.
I wonder if
I think it was a Tommy gun of whatever it's called, a Tommy gun.
Oh, Tommy gun, yeah, chain.
Yeah, they found something like that, and yeah, they found a couple of them in the house, and it was a big thing on the news for a while. But that wasn't too long. That finally wasn't too long after the Port Arthur incident. It was like 5-7 years or something. But that was a big thing.
I've been googling a lot. When was Ivan Milat in relation to that?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Ivan Milat. What year he was in the 90s, wasn't he?
Well, that's the thing, Max. Yeah, they get them from their uncles or from their grandfathers or whoever. But it's like it's an old World War II weapon now. If you think about World War II weapons compared to the age of guns we have now, it's like if crims are hiding them and they're big things, you know, there's obviously, we're obviously doing the right thing with our gun laws. That, you know, if people are having to resort to their grandfather's old fucking machine guns, some machine guns they brought back from World War II, then, you know, we've obviously done something right with our fucking gun laws, so that they have to resort to old weapons that could very well malfunction.
Ivan Milat was killing before the gun laws came in. He was doing it before Port Arthur.
Yeah.
Which makes sense now that I think of it. That's crazy, though. He was just slaughtering everyone. He used guns as well.
But you got to remember, it's like, you know, when crims are caught here with guns, they're generally caught with, like, you know, if you're a criminal, you've got a gun, you're considered high up on the criminal level because having a gun is a very serious thing. I mean, you hear about more stabbings and beatings here than you hear about fucking, you know, shootings.
Yeah.
If shooting happens, it's like, oh, these are the top dogs sort of going at it, you know.
You know, we gotta do a tour of Australia. Let's do it.
Do a tour, are we?
We'll go to Belangolo Forest.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, right, yeah.
Imagine how scary that'd be. We'd make a tour out of it. Just scare people.
Yeah,
we'd probably be frowned upon.
We'll run up to those people with cameras in. We'll probably get fucking shot. American gun save over 30. Yeah, so, you know, it's like, yeah, that's still, you know, that's ridiculously high numbers, you know, for So someone in my chat saying in America, guns save over 30,000 lives per year, and only take 40,000 lives. Well, save 300,000, take 40,000 lives per. I mean, that's a double-edged sword, though. The whole point of getting rid of guns is so.
How are they saving lives? Are they protecting you?
Well, yeah, they're protecting people. So, if someone crashes through your door in the middle of the night, you take your gun out of your side drawer and shoot them.
Crazy to think about.
You're killing the one person to save the 4 people in the house. So,
that's crazy.
The numbers make sense, but it's like...
How often does that happen in Australia, though? Like, it's probably isolated.
Well, it's isolated and it'll be very rare and be very different because, it's like... I mean, if I didn't have a gun, okay.
I would probably just run out of the house and be like, take it.
If I was thinking on a criminal level, the last thing I want to be doing is kicking down someone's door with a knife. If I had a shotgun, it's like, fuck yeah, I'm going into the house. But,
could you imagine in America, you'd be like, you would be protecting yourself, and the guy attacking you will have a gun as well, most likely, because he doesn't give a fuck about the law.
That would be the worst fear if I lived in America, is that it's like, not only do I have to have a gun to protect myself, but the guy coming through my window's probably got a gun too. Yep. Now let's see who's got the more firepower out of all the guns.
The more accurate.
It's sort of like, it's like I need a gun to protect myself from the guy who's going to come through my house with a gun, but I need 4 guns to out firepower the guy coming through the door. Like,
yep.
It's sort of just a rolling over effect. It's sort of like,
and most
I need a gun to rob someone. I need a gun to protect myself from robbing someone, and then I need more guns to stop the person who's coming through with a shotgun. When I've only got pistols, now I need fucking assault rifles and semi-automatic rifle. Like, hello? Like, you're not seeing the issue here? Like, you're escalating a situation that doesn't need to escalate. There's a reason why there's a police force.
Exactly.
And there's, it prevents, you call them to come to help prevent from these people busting you door. And half the time I bet they wouldn't bust in if they didn't have guns in the first place.
Well, realistically, when burglars come into your house, they don't come in just to kill you.
No, they don't. But I mean,
they want to steal your shit.
They want to steal your shit. Yeah, I mean, it's like.
So if they don't have guns, they'll just like steal some. I don't know, some junk.
Can you imagine some twitched out meth head coming in to rob your house because he wants your TV to sell for crack or whatever, right? But can you imagine if he had a gun as well?
Oh, God.
That is just obscene. It's like, I'm gonna come crashing through your door because I have a gun, because I want your TV for crack, but I'm going to fucking kill everyone in the house because I hear a noise and I'm methed out and cracked. Fucking jitty. I'm gonna start blasting holes in the wall. So, even if someone did rob, let's say someone robbed me here in Australia. I mean, either I would hear it, and as soon as they hear me, they would leg it because they go, "Oh no, this person's awake. We better leave." Or I'm in America and I've got a gun and I'm going to rob you. It's like, "Oh wait a minute, this person, I've got a gun. This person wakes up. Maybe if I shoot them, they'll shut up, and then I'll take their shit."
Very random.
I mean, I understand. So if I was somewhere, to be fair, I'll be completely honest. If I was somewhere where I had a gun and where I could get guns to protect myself, I'm sure I would do it. But I think it would scare me more owning a gun, knowing the fact that the person coming through to possibly hurt me probably has a gun also.
Yep.
Double-edged sword. I don't need that fucking double-edged sword in my life, thank you very much. I'm much happier in a country that doesn't have guns. It's like I'm considered a bigger bearded bloke, and when I'm wearing sunglasses, people generally cross the street anyway. But it's like I'd much rather people cross the street because I look a certain way than them crossing the street because I can see a gun bulging out of my pants.
I do that all the time at night time. I usually walk home from the clubs because I'm an idiot, and it's not a big town. It's like a nice 20-minute walk. But if someone's on the road, I cross, no matter what they look like.
Yeah, see,
and they probably cross as well. It's just like that bit where we both cross, and then
both cross. You're standing in the middle of the road. It's like you go left, I'll go right. It's all right. But it's just. I mean, I don't know if it's just because I am Australian and I live in a country that doesn't have guns, and you live in a place transom that lives in somewhere with guns, but it's I guess there's two different circumstances. You need guns because effectively everyone else has guns, so you got a gun. But here we don't have a gun. We don't have guns, and the only people who have guns are the police, and they very fucking rarely use them.
Yep.
Thankfully,
non-lethal.
But and generally, and it's like that's the other thing. It's sort of adapted our crime as well. It's like the only people who really get affected by crime. Or I shouldn't say this because a lot of people get affected by crime, but it's like the only people who are going to come through with guns through my house in the middle of the night are possibly other crims thinking that I am a crim. They're not gonna. The only reason they bring guns because they think I've got a gun. So, I'm not gonna. It would be very rare that a crim comes running through my house to rob me who's got a gun. If they do,
that would be frightening.
It would be very fucking odd if they did. Like, it's like by all means, it doesn't stop someone breaking into my house by all means, but it's like. If they came through with a gun, it would be very, very confronting for us anyway. We'd be sitting here going, "Buddy, you got the wrong house. Take what you want, but we don't have guns. So maybe put yours away a little bit."
Pipe down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just we live in two different countries. They have two different sets of rules for guns, and the big thing here is that you don't have them. You don't. So, thank you very much for the follow, man. Very much appreciated. Enjoy your evening, man. Thanks for coming and chatting to us. We always like to talk to our chats and bring up ideas that they bring up, and you gave us a good discussion point, man. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
But yeah, don't think we don't dislike you or anything like that. It's just we have two different ideas and perspectives of how guns should work, and yours works for you, as ours works for us.
You shouldn't hate someone for their opinion.
Oh, definitely no. I don't hate. I don't.
We don't hate you. No,
don't hate you.
That's what I'm trying to make a point. Yeah.
Civil, exactly, Max. Civil. We're just trying to make a point on our perspectives of vice, I guess.
Oh my god, my fucking thing. That's the second time my computer's gone into sleep.
By any chance, is it because it's Windows 10?
Probably, yeah. Windows 10 is superior.
You hear that radiation? Windows 10. Fucking Windows 10.
Keeps going to sleep. Fucking stupid.
Who do I need to sacrifice to join the sacrifice? You can just join. I'm pretty sure you can just join it, Max, if you want to.
Oh, we're going to have a third person.
We're going to have a third person? Bring Max in?
I think you have to invite him.
How do I do that in a fucking Discord call? Is there a way to do that?
We'll go BRB for a second.
Yeah, just give us a second. We'll be right back, guys. I'm just going to figure out how to...
Yeah, I can do it.
I've done something now. Now all the settings are gone. Okay.
Maxwell.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. There he is.
We got the boys.
Okay. Max is loading in. Alright, give us... Being the new person in the thing, Max, you got to give us a discussion point.
Oh, I've got to give it a topic, eh?
Wow, is your camera broken?
Yeah, it's
oh, no, there
it is.
There's the boy in the sepia.
It's laggy, though.
It is very laggy for you. You've just froze.
You just froze, yeah.
You look like a fake person. You look like an android.
Well, it's just a still image. He's not animated in whatsoever.
He's perfectly still, dude. He doesn't react. There he is. Little reaction.
No, it's gone again. He's still image.
I'll just be the occasional frame every 30 seconds.
Yes. One frame per 60 seconds.
Yeah, but as the new person, you got to bring in a new topic.
What have you already talked about?
We've talked about the whole Bad Bunny situation. We've talked about the bushfires. We've talked about content creating, of going on and off, of our process of going in and out of it. What else have we spoken about?
People leaving Twitch a little bit.
Oh yeah, people. Yeah, well, that's
touch
part
on-
of the content creating
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff.
We say bushfires, gun control. I think that's the biggest one.
Gun control was the big one we spoke about for almost like half an hour, 40 minutes. Taxes in America.
Politics, a little bit of politics.
A little bit of politics, but you sort of urge everyone up when you start talking about politics for too long.
Where's the podcast, dude?
Yeah, the podcast. So, yeah, guys. So Max does this thing called a podcast, where apparently he gets nothing but pogness. So we'll see. We'll see about this. Oh, I've got someone entering. Hello, Indy.
Hello, Indy.
Hello. Indy is one of my housemate's dogs who I very much adore and I classify as my dog as well. Indy, come here. You gonna say hello? No, Indy, you can't have that.
No.
You can say hello. Yeah, you can say hello. Oh, she doesn't want to be on camera right now. She's just happily sitting and enjoying the conversation, aren't you, Indy? Yeah.
Indy's my favourite.
Yes.
Oh, Max has got some HyperX.
He's got HyperX. So Max, you're going a bit quiet on us. What's the conversation indicator you're going to bring us? Or point?
But he's muted.
Is he muted?
That's why we can't hear him.
No, I can't hear him because he's muted. He's probably been told off to go to bed.
I just saw his mouth move. Oh, here he is. He's
Yeah,
back.
I was talking the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay, we weren't hearing you. It was all just silent.
Yeah, I was talking about how the podcast will be starting once my co-host comes back from Nairobi.
Nairobi.
Nairobi in Kenya.
What's he over there doing? Building a schoolhouse or something?
I have no clue. Apparently he's on a holiday. At first he was saying he was on a business trip, if you know what I mean.
I'm going to turn you up a little bit.
Business trip, like...
Quiet.
No, you're right. I think it's just my settings.
Yeah, right.
There we are.
Alrighty. I gotta think of a conversation starter.
You're not doing so well so far.
Shit weather.
Shit weather.
Yeah.
Shit weather.
I
That's
don't
boring.
like
No.
shit weather.
Shit weather. Why are we talking about shit
We've
weather?
talked about weather.
We've even spoken about this. Yeah, we spoke about the
fuck.
fires and how we went from fires to flooding. Yeah, we spoke
I
about this.
just somehow managed to deafen. This
Definitely.
is going great so far. EB Games shutting down.
Oh,
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm team JB Hi-Fi, so they probably
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
they
So
probably
for
killed EB Games.
So the people who don't know, EB Games here in Australia is a big game outlet for basically across the board for everything from figurines to cards to consoles to games. It's basically our version of Steam, but in shop
GameStop.
form, pretty
GameStop.
much. GameStop,
It's actually made by the same people who make GameStop.
Oh.
There you go. But yeah, anyway, our big outlet, one of the biggest game outlets for basically, so basically if you own a console game, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you got unless you got the online stores, but you're pretty much fucked. There's no.
And then and if you also want to get second-hand games.
I think that's one of the best things about EB Games and all those sort of places you go, and it's like, go buy all these games that I didn't want to buy when they were $80-$90. That's just something else in this fucking Australia. Our fucking games cost almost $100 on release.
So
fucking
expensive.
ridiculous.
It was so expensive. I was looking at
try being a Twitch streamer with
I never realized how fucked the Australian market was until I looked at the Chinese CS:GO marketplace and saw that skins were literally half price some of the times.
It's sort of ridiculous, and I think it's got something to do with the Australian dollar and our economy. But
Yeah, the Australian dollar is one of the most expensive dollars.
one of the big things I think why EB Games has gone out of effectively is going out of business is because it's going from where you can buy games for half the price, and you go to the store and you got to pay full price at $100. So it's like,
Yeah.
I could jump on Steam and let's say a good example of a game. So let's play Rising Storm 2, which is a part of the Red Orchestra handle. That game I remember at EB Games when it first came out was $60.
Yeah.
Online, even in the USD tag price was was like a quarter of that.
JB Hi-Fi is always also killing it as well.
You know,
I mean, I was surprised to see that the new Halo game was pre-order $50. Like that's a surprising thing in Australia.
Well, JB Hi-Fi, normally the base is like $70, $80, which is $20 cheaper than EB. I don't know if they're cost leading, like losing money to get people in, because they sell other things as well. But they do stuff a lot cheaper, and I think they killed EB Games as well.
Could have.
Apparently, the guy on the far right has dreamy eyes. So apparently, you have dreamy eyes. Thank you, Mike Olson, for that comment. Thank you. Here we go. I can go in closer for you.
I thought they were talking about me. It's swapped on stream to me.
Oh,
well, it's just.
I'm on the right, so I was very confused.
No, you're in the middle.
You're in the middle.
Always got
now you're looking like a pirate.
I lost my lapels.
Is that like the lens of the sun?
It's the lens of his sunglasses that he's
nice.
Like, he sent me all these Snapchats before of him doing creepy faces, but I was like, dude, you look like a freak.
I love
but no, back to the EB Games thing. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of it has to do, I'm sure, with the pricing difference. That online they can't compare to. You know, as a business, especially a storefront, you got to be selling enough product to get new product, and you have to be effectively paying things like your electricity, your bills, your rent, and all that sort of shit. But I think this is where franchising is a big horrible fucking thing, because those EB game stores weren't owned exclusively by the company, but because they were franchised in, when people started losing money, the franchise had to go, all right, we've got to give you money to stay alive, but you got to sell back your store pretty much.
I mean,
so these poor people would have gone. It's like games becoming a big thing. Let's get into the gaming business. Buy a gaming store out. Buy a store. Rent a store outlet. Go to EB Games. Go. We want to be part of EB Games. Get on the franchising. And when things started to go under, fucking the EB Games. The poor franchise owners were going, oh shit, EB Games, we need your help. We're suffering, we're losing business. Can you bail us out? And of course, what does EB Games do? They bail them out, and effectively, they say, well, we want to bail you out. Now you got to give us more of your franchise, or all of it. So now, why you don't see EB Games a lot of stores where they're closing down is because EB Games effectively going, well. Now, as the big corporates, if we're going to start losing our six-figure paychecks, we're going to close it down. And if that means we close it down, that means everybody loses their franchise. No matter if you own it or don't own it, you're fucked.
To put things in perspective, EB Games sells Dragon Ball Z Kakarot for $99.95.
Jesus.
And JB Hi-Fi sell it for $79. This only just came out the other day. 17.
But the difference between, JB Hi-Fi and EB Games, EB Games is primarily video games. Games or gaming.
I mean, JB Hi-Fi can also afford to undercut it a bit because they've got all the other stuff and they're a much bigger company.
They make money from their white goods and their electrical goods alone. They don't need to make
a lot of money off games.
Gaming and CDs and movies are all just sort of like it's just the bread and butter. It's like. So they make all their money off their big ticket items like TVs, computers, cameras, all the accessory bullshit that comes along with them.
Mainly like appliances, like fridges, and stuff like
appliances, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I mean JB Hi-Fi is all about. I thought about electronics, but I have seen some with white goods and stuff.
Yeah, JB Hi-Fi Home, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So they make all their money off everything else in the house, and the CDs, the video games, and the movies are just sort of like. It's just like a different section. It's an extra $10,000 a month. It's like we make $100,000 of everything else a month, and we make an extra $10,000 off, off movies, CDs, and games. It's like why the fuck not? So it's like because we don't make that much. Fuck it, let's cut the price on it. I
mean, in my JP,
they still buy the game. They still buy the games and CDs and movies for like a quarter of the actual price. that we're going to buy them for, but it's like, that's called upmarketing, that's called business, it's like,
Yeah.
sadly, when you, it's way back to the start of this stream and podcast when we're talking about don't put all your fucking eggs in one basket, because these days you're going to get fucked.
You have to be a multi-tool.
I don't see anywhere, a good example is what we're doing. Like tonight we're doing a podcast sort of thing, right? Or we're doing YouTube and we're doing Twitch and we're doing fucking Spotify. Whatever we're doing, we're multitasking. So it's like we haven't put all our eggs into one basket. It's like I just find it very interesting. And the other thing of that is like we all work jobs or we study or whatever we're doing. We're not all in on one thing, because these days that just doesn't work anymore. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Maybe career-wise, if you're like a lawyer or a doctor, you're going for a high-end thing. But even those people who do those high-end things, at one point they were studying and working, or they were working 2 or 3 jobs to pay for what that sort of thing. It's like there is an end goal and there's the starting in the middle. And generally, the start and the middle, you're generally multitasking, doing 50 different things before you get to that final end goal. And I guess that final end goal for us is becoming, Twitch superstars or YouTube superstars or whatever. Can start doing this full time. But for us, as realists and people who got a fucking common sense, you can't put all your eggs in the same basket. And sadly, as franchise owners, that's what those poor EB Game franchises did, because franchising was big at the time, and they thought, this is going to fucking work. And it probably did for many years, but in the last decade, it fucking hasn't. Not with the internet uprising. The first time I saw Steam, I knew in the back of my mind, gaming stores are done.
Blockbuster of games.
Yeah, the Blockbuster.
Exactly.
Game.
It's like the Blockbuster. It's like Netflix converts Blockbuster.
Yeah.
It's a what do you call it? Streaming to a Blockbuster. It's like as soon as Netflix and other things are starting to get main gateway. If I owned a Blockbuster, I would have gone. Oh shit! Well, I think the big coin drop, I guess, for Blockbuster was when people started downloading movies. As soon as I heard people download movies, it's like fucking sell this shit. I'm fucking out of here. It's like, and that's just the common. That's just the back of my mind. It's like, why pay $5 to $20 for a movie when I can pay $90 for my internet bill every month and download as much as I want?
Exactly.
Who really has people go, it's like, oh yeah, but I can't afford that. It's like, in Australia, we have to pay for our internet and how much we use. Now, in most cases, if you're smart enough, you can generally pay a certain price and get unlimited. Now, unlimited means you can download as much or upload as much or as little as you want. So, I could download a whole fucking video shop in a week if I wanted to. It's like,
if that.
Why go and rent a movie night by night, month over month after month by month, when I've got the whole shop on my PC at home? One, I don't have to spend the amount of money that I would at a Blockbuster or anything like that. 2, I don't have to leave the comfort of my home, so I don't have to get dressed to put pants on to go to the fucking video store.
Exactly.
And 3, it's free.
Yeah.
Free in the sense that it's like I'm not paying for every movie. I'm paying for the usage to download those movies. But the things with like VPN and stuff like these days, it's like, I could download all this shit and it wouldn't matter. Don't get me wrong, there are movies that you still need to go to the cinemas and see, but I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I stream movies, and I don't always.
Whoa! What happened there?
I don't know what the fuck happened there.
What the heck? Why am I not there?
That's because Maxi left, I think.
Oopsie daisies.
Maxi just turned off his camera because it wasn't working. But it's
I turned off hardware acceleration. I didn't realize it would close Discord.
But it's just when you stream movies at the click of a button, Blockbuster isn't a thing anymore. That's just proven it. It's like as soon as you can start downloading and streaming, going to the video store is the obsolete thing to do. It's just not needed anymore. You don't have to do it.
We still have a video store in my place, in my town.
My Blockbuster was replaced by an IGL.
There you go. It's like, that's the thing. It's like this is something
I go there. I go
something else I want to talk about franchising and stuff as well. Is that the only people winning in franchising are the people who either own the franchising heads, so like, you know, like EB Games or whatever, because those people who own EB Games, they're
cashed out.
They're sitting pretty, yeah. Fuck yeah! It's like, you know, it's like they're going. It's like, EB Games came to an end. Well, fuck it, you know. I've still got my mansion. I've got my hot wife with her fucking big fake tits. I've got the little designer dog running around. Like, you know, I've got the bank account full of millions and millions of dollars. Like, you know, fuck it, you know, sell the shit. You know,
Yeah.
It's the person holding the fucking bag, and this is the everyday people that you're gonna worry about. And it's the same. It's like it's across the board with franchising. Like, the people winning who own McDonald's is the people who own the land. It's like fuck the business on top of it.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
They've won it by owning the land. The people, the corporates, or the main, I can't remember the main guy's name now, but the guy who owns McDonald's, he doesn't actually own McDonald's, the restaurant. I mean, he does, but I mean, he doesn't own each and every restaurant. He owns the land that they all fucking sit on.
Yeah, and like a cut of all the money they make.
You know, and it cuts. So not only is he taking rent for, you know, or the lease for the land, he's also taking money from, because it's like, oh well, I own McDonald's too, so I'm going to take a cut there. You know, so it's like I mean, that guy is a fucking genius. I mean, I'm sorry, that McDonald's movie where they've got the, you know, the poor little guy, the poor, you know, middle-aged fellows who are, you know, make the burgers and make a great business, and, you know, every hardworking person, that's what you aspire to try and do. You own your own business. You know, got fucking undercut by some guy who bought the land out from underneath them. And it's not only did he buy the land, but he took their idea.
Oh god.
You know, and at the end of the day, who was the one sitting on top of the mountain? Fucking the guy who, you know, was able to figure out, well, if I can own the land that you're on, I'm now going to charge you for, you know, run the land so high that you can't afford the business, so the business idea goes out the window, and then I'll buy that too because he can't afford it. So that's what he did. He ran them out. He bought the land under the McDonald's that they were sitting on, raised the rent of the lease of that land so high that they couldn't afford it, which means they then had to sell the McDonald's. What do you call the McDonald's? Name, or whatever you want to call it. He had to sell the McDonald's
brand.
Yeah, the brand. So then he bought the brand with all their fucking money.
Oh god.
And then franchised it out to people. And what he did is he went around. All right, it's like, okay, I want to start 3 McDonald's in this town. He went and bought the land. He went and bought the land that they were on. You know, when I bought the land that they were on, and then sold to poor, hardworking Americans and everyone else across the world. You know, make this a family-run restaurant, call it McDonald's. Here's the McDonald's licensing, so you're paying for that. Oh, and by the way, you got to pay the land, which is under a completely different fucking name, which isn't under McDonald's. It's under something else completely. And so basically, he just undercut it. So franchising is a joke. You know,
franchising is evil.
The only people winning in franchising are the
owners,
the corporates, not the hardworking family or people that run the stores. By all means, yes, they own their own business in some sense, but really, if something bad happens to that business, which is proven by EB Games, which is proven by Blockbuster, it's sooner or later something's going to happen in the economy where it's just becomes irrelevant, or it's not going to work anymore.
Yeah,
and you're going to get fucked. And you know, people might not see it quite in the sense that, you know, McDonald's is getting stuffed over at the moment. I mean, but I think they slowly are, because you've got things like Uber Eats. Yes, you're always going to need. Yeah. Yes, you're going to always need restaurants to cook the food, but I don't know if especially you two especially noticed, but in America and some other places, especially in Europe, it's happening a lot in Europe that I've noticed, is people are cooking out of their homes and making the restaurant online on Uber Eats. You can only
I've seen that
on Uber Eats.
That's good.
I saw some guy who was cooking pad thai and then doing it on Uber Eats.
Yeah, so that's my point. You know, it's like we've now got the next generation of things, which is food on, which is everything's online for some reason. You got the food. You order your food online. I mean, you don't care if it comes from a restaurant or someone's kitchen, as long as you get the food that you're told, that you specify that you're getting, and as long as it's good food.
Yeah.
You know, why the fuck am I paying so much rent for an open shop front when I can cook out of my home kitchen and pay only the utilities?
Exactly.
I mean, as a business owner, I'm sitting here looking at my costs, like I've got to pay wages, I've got to pay fucking licensing, I've got to pay such and such. You know, or I could cook out of my home and kitchen and only pay this little block here.
$2.
Which one am I going to do, you know?
Uber Eats for the win.
You know, and it's like, you got to think about it. It's like, you know, okay, yeah, so yes, you might lose all your business from your walk-ins and all that sort of stuff, but how many summers or how many winters have you sat there scratching your going, fuck, guys, I don't know how I'm going to pay you this week because we've only had 3 people walk in. You know, like...
Yeah, they're not getting any direct customers.
It's a no-brainer, and let's face it, you know, especially in a city like Adelaide, for example, or in a town like Toowoomba and stuff that you guys live in. Sorry to dox you there. But it's you know, I'm sure there are restaurant owners that are sitting there scratching their head in the middle of winter, going, "Oh, you know, you've got to grit your teeth this month because you know you've had
squeezing blood.
You've had all this." 70 people walk through the door for the whole 3 months, you know, just because people don't want to go out in the fucking cold. You know, but the guy down the shop who owns the takeaway shop, you know, and doesn't have any seating is making more money than all of us. Like, you know, and it's like, all he has to do is put his thing on Uber Eats and put it on fucking, you know, thing. And he could even take that shop front away and be fucking,
rolling
in it, you know? And all he has to do is just be in trend for the time. So it's like, by no means, franchising is it is completely a scam, but it does work for a while. But you just got to be mindful that it's like, you know, like I was saying, if I owned a Blockbuster and I started hearing people were downloading and all that sort of shit, I was like, yeah, fucking sell that shit as quick, smart. I would sell that shit as soon as I heard. If I owned a Blockbuster and I had started hearing, or even seeing my teenage kids downloading movies or downloading music, I would have gone. Business change. Yeah, fucking business change. Yeah, here we go. You know, and that's where I would have fucking dumped all my money into fucking Netflix or some shit. But you know, it's into fucking Netflix shares or whatever. But you know, it's people don't think like that. People don't always think like that. And then it's like, you know, at the moment with EB Games and stuff, people are sitting there holding the bag, going, "Well, I've put all my eggs in this one basket, and that basket's gone."
Damn. Do you know how much the Nike artist was paid for the swish?
I don't know, you know, fucking bottom dollars like everyone is.
It was a university student, so could that make you guess any better?
$350.
Well, probably less than that because they're university students and don't even pay proper rates.
Yep. It was $35.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, no, it's not. It's like you know, it's like when someone going back to McDonald's thing, when they thought about chicken nuggets. You know, can you imagine the guy in the fucking restaurant in the basement of McDonald's restaurant going, yeah, let's take the fucking bone out of the fucking nugget or out of the piece of chicken. You know, and it's like who the fuck?
And then deep fry.
And then deep fry, you know. Well, they're already deep frying chicken, but if you can, it's like, you know, people going, it's like, you know, people is like walking around throwing bones on the street, or whatever. And it's like, you know, people were tripping over bones or whatever it was, right? I mean, there's probably 100 different reasons why people decide to make certain foods, but they go, maybe if we can get rid of the bones, so there's less wastage.
That's how they made. Fun fact: that's how they made rum at Bundaberg.
There you go. Yeah.
They had too much molasses on the river, so they started making rum.
You know, so that's the thing. All it takes is someone to go, there has to be a way to get rid of this, or there has to be a way to
They made the biggest rum business in Australia.
Yeah, and all it takes is that one person and get their idea off the ground. And, you know, it's like the person who figures out how to catch water without putting it in a fucking water bottle is going to be a fucking mastermind. You know? Tell me how you can catch water and drink it or use it without keeping it in a big fucking container.
Bend it with your mind.
You know, bend it with your mind, or fucking, you know, figure out fucking hollow gravity or some bullshit. You
Just
know,
pour
it's
it directly into your mouth.
No, I mean, you know, storage. So it's like, you know, the big thing about containing water is you got to have a container to put it in, right?
And it's got to keep cold.
And it's got to keep cold. You know, if you can keep the water cold, not in a container or in a lesser container, that person's going to make a shitload of money.
You got to come up with it.
You know. But but in the saying of that, if you're in a company that's already trying to do that, and you're the little guy on the engineering line who thinks of it, you're going to be paid your wage, and the guy upstairs is going to be making all the fucking money.
Yeah.
This is where franchising comes to, and franchising is a fucking scam.
It's a pyramid scheme.
Franchising equals scam, Smiley.
Yep. Pyramid.
Yeah.
Biggest pyramid scheme,
boys.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a triangle.
Because if I invented
Hey, Snixie, how you going?
Smixy!
You enjoying our conversation, Smixie, about bullshit, random things that people don't like talking about, like losing their business, and fucking content creating, and fucking people that fucking hate their communities and say, "Give me subscriptions." Bad Bunny.
Yeah, was that Bergenbeard who tweeted about the?
Everyone's fucking
who was
retweeting.
like,
Everyone's retweeting
Yeah, he's
about it.
You're telling me you have hours to watch my stream and not $5 to fuck off.
I'm actually for her, so
Well, that's just because you want to be controversial. You don't want to follow the sheep in this conversation. That's the only reason.
I admire her.
Dude, everybody should be giving us tier 3 subs.
No, God.
No. I admire her because she's just so different. That's all.
Well, I mean, by all means, I fucking hate how she treats her community.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. Execution's wrong.
The execution's wrong, but she knows how to play the game because how many people have viewed her clips? How many people have gone and rewatched that VOD? How many people have
talking about it?
Got that talking about it?
Yeah.
Just talking about it is fucking gold. Like
viral.
You know, can you imagine how many followers she's got on her Twitch, on her social media, just hoping she'll say something fucked up in the next couple of days just to add on to it?
Yeah.
Like,
it's the same people who are like...
thousands of people would have gone, well, now I'm going to follow this person because I think they're a twat. And
I did follow
I want to be there for the next fuck up. So
it's like the people who started following and watching Alinity streams.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, they're waiting for the rethrow a cat.
Yeah,
bullshit. None of us. I mean, by all means, we care because
cat javelin.
But I mean, it's like, that's the thing. That's where all the memes come from. So I'm just waiting for the memes to start coming through now on fucking this Bad Bunny chick. But anyway, it's just. It just shows, and the funny thing is about all of this, she did this about 11 months ago, so it's getting big on Twitter again. It's like, they're just going fucking around in circles, It's like, and it's obvious.
You can never escape things you've said in the past, especially on the internet.
It's not just that, but it's like, she's obviously gone back through her stats and gone, okay, my streams are dipping. What did I do last time to make them boost? Oh, yeah, that's what I said. I said my fucking Twitch community is dog shit. And they need to give me money. That's what I said. So that's.
If they're not giving me money, they're not worth my time.
I'll say it again with a different rant tweet, and I'll get all hyped up on the internet. That's exactly what's happened. I bet as soon as she finished that stream, she sat there on Twitter and Social Blade watching the views.
I loved it. Yeah.
Just go up, just sitting there going, whoa,
money.
I mean, it is the most devilish and horrible thing you can think about, someone saying something just to get views. But I mean,
it's happened so many times.
It happens a lot in this industry, and
people love it.
People love it,
They just get on their high horse. They love it.
Some people's lives, I mean, a lot of people's lives are so minuscule and boring that they find so much love and grit about jumping on board this and bashing at this poor lady or this person about what they said because they've got nothing better to do with their time. Let's be honest. I mean, it's like some of these people are keyboard warrior, what you classify as a keyboard warrior and all this sort of shit.
Sit
there and bash the shit out of her, and and we're doing it here as well. We're giving.
I love my keyboard warriors.
We're giving him more viewership here as it is, but it's like. It's gotten us talking about it, and I think that's just interesting to begin with. It's like, you don't have to be
people.
You don't have to be a big influence. You don't have to be anything. It's like you just say the wrong shit around the wrong people, or vice versa, the good shit around the right people, and you're gonna fucking blow up. And it can either be in a good way or a bad way. The only reason, a good example is fucking Logan Paul and the Paul brothers.
Oh, God.
Why did they blow up?
Why did you remind me of them?
They're the YouTube equivalent.
Yeah, but why did they blow up? It's because they did fucking horrible shit.
Stupid shit.
Jake Paul started, he started doing fucking horrible shit to his housemates and to the house that he lived in. And other shit to get really big. And fucking Logan Paul walked in a suicide forest in Japan. And,
that's some big brain stuff right there.
it's like that wasn't just a random thing. That was, I mean, you know, walking into a suicide forest, knowing that if you walk around there long enough, you're probably going to run into something.
Yep.
You know, or you're going to find what you're going to be finding. Yeah, let's just video the whole experience, see what happens. You know, not you know, we don't want to record something bad, but you know, we'll that's not a mistake. That's like, it's almost like you got on the plane just to do that. You know,
and be an idiot in Japan because he was.
And be an idiot in Japan, and it's like, by all means, I mean, I understand why the Japanese government said we don't want you back, buddy. You know, so we're not going to give you a not going to give you a visa to come back, sort of thing. But yeah, it's just and it's like, by all means, I tip my hat at the business thought through this process, because, you know, on the business side
all
of
these
it,
editors were like, yeah,
they've
sounds
got the
good.
fucking game by the balls.
Sounds good.
You know, it's like they've realized that it's like, no matter how bad people talk about us or how good people talk about us, you know, blowing up is blowing up. And in this industry, when you blow up for the good or the bad reasons, you know, on a business side of it, ching, ching, ching. That's all you're fucking hearing. That's all you're hearing, because it's like, when things are based off views, when things are based off people commenting and all that sort of stuff, you know, it's almost better to be a fucking, you know, a heartless bastard, a heartless asshole, because that's what's gonna get it for you. You know?
Exactly.
You know, and it's like, on the other side of it, you could be saying the right things and, you know, be around the right people, and, you know, you say the correct thing, and that could get you to blow up, and, you know, everyone sees you as the superstar or the white knight or whatever you want to call it. And this is going to work out well for you as well. So you just got to, you know, if you want this industry to work for you, there are things to do, there are things you say and do to get it to work for you. And I have to admit, even though people talk shit about some of these people or talk really good about some of these people, they know what they're doing, business-wise. But when it comes to morals and all that sort of bullshit, they've got no fucking idea. You know, from a business sense, they know what they're talking about. Yes, Mixie, we're doing well. Hope your dinner was good, even though it was late. Lucky Lindy, your pen made me have. Well, you see, that's the other thing. People don't see Logan Paul as a bad as a, you know, he repented and all that sort of bullshit and made up for it.
It was so deceptive.
Like, you know, again, that was fucking. I mean, you know, let's be honest. I mean, you know, he can say as much or as little as he wants. When he planned to go to the suicide forest in Japan that day, he thought about taking a camera. If he was just going for a cultural thing, you know, he would have gone, okay, this is a place where people do maybe kill themselves and all that sort of shit. He wouldn't have taken a fucking camera, you know? But because he thought on a business side of it, he took a camera. If he thought on a moral side, I mean, look, if we're just speaking on a moral sense, if you go somewhere that's very culturally, you know, predicted, or, you know, not predicted, but, you know, this is where people go to do themselves in and all that sort of shit.
Private sensitive stuff.
You're not going to take a fucking camera. on a business side, when you're a big influencer like that, you're going to take a fucking camera.
Yep.
You know?
And then after he came back, he shocked a rat.
That's you know.
Tried to bring it back alive.
This thing, like, you know, the Golden Gate Bridge in America is a big place where people, you know, do themselves in effectively.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's never nicely spoken about, you know, but there are hundreds and hundreds of videos out there of people who have just been there at the right time watching these poor people do themselves in.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, it's a huge tourist attraction, so people are videoing, taking pictures anyway, but, you know, why, in some sense, some of these
people do it without it.
You know, if I was, I mean, personally, if I was there and I was filming the Golden Gate Bridge and I saw someone stand up on the rails, I wouldn't continue filming it, you know. I wouldn't.
No. Or if I did film it, I'd delete it straight away.
Yeah, and that's just my moral compass. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable about filming someone else's death or someone else's troubles in that sort of sense. You know, maybe if it was myself and I was doing that, not saying that I'm ever going to do that, but, you know, it's just, you know, I wanted to leave a message or something. Maybe that's the thing, but that's something I would choose for myself, not for, you know, because that poor person's family or those poor people's loved ones, all they have to do is go online and they can be confronted by this stuff, and it can bring up horrible memories, and it's not a place that these people need to visit when they're just going online to do their daily, you know, searches. And, you know, I couldn't imagine what that family of that poor bloke in Logan Paul's video have gone through, seeing that play on the news, seeing it play on every social media website. Anyone who knew that
Live
person,
leaks.
every time that footage or every time it's spoken about, that's what they think about.
You can still watch it today, even though it's taken off YouTube.
They don't think about, you know, the poor person's, you know,
no, because they got a million
you know,
or 2 views.
Logan Paul goes to bed every night sleeping soundly, and yes, he might have said he's very sorry and so on and so forth, but, you know, he's not the one who has to go on the line every day, and every time he sees that person, he doesn't go, well, the last thing I'm ever going to remember about this person is that video.
Exactly.
You know,
Max
I'm not going to think
gone.
about the good time. I'm not going to think about the good times I had with that person. I'm not going to think about the things that, you know, I that I had with that person, or the things that, you know, remind me of this person, of who they are. Every time I see, you know, I hear about Logan Paul or hear about the Suicide Forest, now that's all I'm going to think about is that fucking video.
Idiot.
You know, and that's, as on a moral point of view, that is horribly morally wrong, and it's something that everyone seems to forget, is that, you know, no matter how well in business sense he might have done, and how much I'm tipping my hats off to on a business sense, you know, he's got the game by the balls, but I mean, even on a business sense, I couldn't do that. Not morally.
No.
I mean, you know, it's almost like going and filming someone's funeral. You know, you just don't do it. You just don't do it. I mean, unless it's something that person wants to give to their families. You know, like the wedding photos. Not the wedding. Sorry, not I shouldn't say wedding.
It's probably going to be private though.
Yeah, but it's private. You know, it's not something you're going to put on the internet for millions of people to look at. You know,
forever.
Like, the last thing I would want is, you know, my loved one or whatever, you know, just because I was a social, biggest social influence. I wouldn't say it's like, you know, I might say to my community that's like, sorry guys, not going to be around today because I've got a funeral, but I'm not going to go. I'm not going to film the fucking thing.
Is it crazy to think that even this, what we're doing now, can be viewed in like 1,000 years? Well, that's the thing. I mean, you know, they can view the Suicide Forest in a million years.
And hopefully, you know, maybe people have a bit more of a moral compass when they look at those things, going, "What the fuck was that person doing? You know, what the fuck was he thinking?"
Like the forest might not be there. That's another whole different topic.
That's a whole different topic. That's a Mother Nature sort of the world's the whole. We're killing our Earth sort of thing. But I mean, the biggest thing about this is that it's like, you know, you can be ruthless in business, but, you know, please keep your moral compass. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing about this Bad Bunny situation, is that it's like, you know, she's lost her moral compass all for a bit of cash, and, you know, sadly that's all it takes in some sense. But I mean, I can tell you right now, you know, I've lived on both sides of the fence. I've lived, you know, very, very poorly, on the poor side of the fence. I've lived on the very well-off side of the fence. You know, it's like either side of the fence, I've got a fucking moral compass. Why does that have to change for other people?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
agreed.
That's what astounds me, is that it's like, you know, I've had a very lucky life where, you know, it's like I grew up in a very, very well-off family and all that sort of stuff, but, you know, and then I've been on the other side. It's like I'm paying all my bills, and it's like I've been in debt and all that sort of shit. You know, it's like I've been on both sides of the fence. You know,
it's growing up,
like, and I've still got a fucking moral compass.
Exactly.
You know, what's happened to some of these people that have lost their moral compass? Like, these people, I mean, and some of these people did come from poor aspects of life, or middle
Logan
class.
Paul and Jake didn't they?
No, they didn't.
Their parents are fucking crazy as well.
I mean, I understand that as well. You know, maybe that's something to do with their upbringing or whatever. But it's like, it just seems to be more of a common thing that when these, and in our industry as well, is that it's like these people just don't have a moral compass anymore. It's like, what the fuck has happened in between when you started to now? Where's your fucking moral compass?
The Dobre brothers. You a big Dobre brother fan? I can't even say their name. But
I've never heard of them.
They're like 5 fuckboys.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you look at like people like Logan Paul's or Bad Bunny's, some of their first streamers and stuff, the first times they started getting like subscriptions and all that, it's like they were very thankful and very,
Fuck the Dobre brothers.
It's just, I just find it very astonishing that it's like you're very humble when you started, but what the fuck has happened between now and then that it's like you've lost your moral compass completely?
Clout trap, dude. The clout, they got caught.
I mean, I mean, even if someone rolled up to my house right now and dumped $10 million in my lap and said, "Lose your moral compass," I would tell them, "Fuck off." No amount of money in the world could tell me, "All right, you got to turn your moral compass off for an amount of money." It's like, even if I was in sweltering debt or whatever, I couldn't lose my moral compass.
Wouldn't sell your soul to the devil.
No, fuck that. I mean, I am who I am for a reason, and
it's priceless, dude.
I'm not. I couldn't sell. I couldn't detriment poor people for other people for my self gain. I just couldn't do it. I mean, I think majority of people would agree with me that they can't do it either. But it seems to be a big thing in our industry that you lose your fucking moral compass when you become famous,
especially on Twitch. Oh my god!
It's a reoccurring thing. It's not just Bad Bunny. It's not just
Twitch people that are
Alinity or
Twitter, dude. Twitter feeds it as well.
Whatever. It's just and the horrible thing is that everyone forgets about a lot of people forget about the moral compass. It's like people might say that I've made a mistake or they forget. They forgive these people for the things they've done, but you got to remember. I mean, these people can say the things that they say and be okay, and they profit from it or whatever. But it's like, if a gang member comes up and shoots a family member or a friend in your head, you don't want to see. You're gonna want to see them put in jail and punished for their crimes. I mean, why aren't some of these people punished or regimented for some of the things that they'd say or do in some cases? That's probably something else I don't quite agree with, is that some of these, it's like, by all means, things like Bad Bunny and stuff, it's like, the way she treated her community, how sorry do you think she's gonna be if her whole community just said, "Nah, we've had enough, we're leaving."
Fuck that.
Like, it's like they don't. It's like the only reason she says those things is because she knows there are people in that community who will keep feeding her that stuff. And it's the people who keep feeding these people because of the wrong things that they do that keeps the cycle going. And it's probably why these people don't have a moral compass, is because they know they can say and get away with fucking bloody murder, and people still keep giving them money for it.
We got to start being like that, dude.
My Wi-Fi card is all
that's not the point I'm trying to get across here. We're not going to become these people, but it's just like, yeah, it's just and that's what I guess that's what mind blown me about this whole Bad Bunny situation is this isn't the first time she said it. I bet
not going to be the last.
It's not going to be the last. It probably won't be the last. Which is a very, what is it? Horrible fucking cycle. It's sad, yeah. It's why Jake Paul still, he has to come up with something crazy every time. Like, didn't he just recently get fucking married or some bullshit?
He broke up.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. It's like, well, okay, instead of burning a fucking mattress on my pool, now I'm gonna marry some chick, and now we're gonna break up. And
Tenamongu.
Oh shit! Now what do I do?
She's the content creator of the year, dude. How do you not know her?
Well, she's not fucking content creator of the year. There's some thing she's paid a bunch of people. Yeah, that's something else. It's fucking it's like people thought there were a lot of other better candidates. Like, how the fuck did she get? I don't remember a video of hers in the year. I remember everyone else who was nominated. Almost everyone else who was nominated videos except hers. I don't remember a single video except for that wedding with Jake Paul she did. That's the only video.
The only video
I remember of the
I've ever
whole
watched of her is the content cop that was done on her, which is freaking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. So it's like, and that's on the other side of the fence as well. So you've got these people who make money off these people who fuck around, who do these fucking horrible things. So, it's almost, and again, it's just feeding the cycle. It's feeding the fucking cycle. Like, I'm waiting for one day a Twitch streamer to walk up to someone with a gun, shoot them, and
live stream it.
And live stream it. Like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, fuck, that's already happened. That's what happened with the New Zealand massacre. The guy fucking streamed the whole thing.
Yep, that was fucked.
Which is fucking horrible. It's horrifying. It's like, just for a bit of attention, these people have to do these horrible catastrophe setting things to other people or to the things around them. It's a bit scary looking forward. That it's like, if you want to be noticed as a content creator, you're going to be doing something so controversial to, make fucking frontline news and to scare the rest of the country into submission. Like, what the fuck is wrong with it? With this, not just this industry, but what is wrong with society that we find we have to fulfill this cycle over and over again? Like,
crazy people.
Does it have to take a lot of people to die for people to go, maybe there's a problem here? That's probably what gets me the most. Is like, just how far does this have to keep going for someone to go? Yeah, this cycle has to fucking stop.
And
all it starts, and it starts with someone bashing their community. It's a horrible cycle to think about, but it's proven in not only in history what that happens. I mean, a good example is the fucking Nazi regime.
Hitler.
The Nazi fucking regime. It started by some little man talking about his views to a bunch of people who liked him and interested him to run a country, and then fucking horrible Holocaust and World War. Like, do we have to get to that fucking point to realize, okay, this is fucking horrible? I really hope we don't fucking have to go to a World War for that to happen.
World War III, dude. Are you ready?
Yeah.
But, fuck me. Like,
I heard an interesting perspective the other day. They said, instead of going back in time to kill Hitler, why don't you go back in time and help him at art school?
It's
a non-violent way to do it.
10,000 IQ plays.
But was he just born with hatred, or did he learn hatred because he didn't pass the high school? I don't know. We couldn't tell. We could never tell.
Why are you holding a GoPro?
Oh, I've just been playing with it all night.
I want to give you a quote that I heard in a movie recently that's actually quite a good quote. Ideas are peaceful, history is violent.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's it's not a great quote. It's not one that, but it's the fucking truth. It's ideals are peaceful. I'm sure when Hitler's spouting all his bullshit fucking before World War II and before he started doing all the horrible fucking things he told other people to do.
At the start they're like, hell yeah, this sounds like a reasonable thing, and then when they started to do it,
and understanding, and people thought it was reasonable, but history shows it's fucking violent. And
history is a violent thing.
It's a fucking violence. It's not it. I just hope that this industry doesn't go that way, and
we go too extreme. We're already starting to go extreme.
We're starting to see the seeds of that happening already, either in videos like what Logan Paul does, and people,
mainstream people,
people looking on death and other things to get views, and people bashing the people they support them to keep getting the money out of them, kind of thing. It's like that's almost the next step, isn't it? It's like show death and then threaten to bash or to continue or to kick you out of the community to get money out of you. Like, it's Isn't that step by step what fucking Hitler did? It's like he started saying all this bullshit, then he showed it, and then he started bashing the people in his community, saying, if you don't start paying the taxes and all that other shit, you can't live in this country anymore. Like, you know, yes, completely different realms of specters and ideas, but I mean, you know, same fucking thought pattern.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, and I mean, you know, it's like, I completely understand respect. Yeah, they're completely different. They're completely left side and one's right side. You know, it's sort of someone spouting, you know, bashing their community, verbally to, you know, fucking going out and killing a whole lot of people. But it's, you know, sadly, there are people who think like that, and people who feed it. And, you know, who's the bigger monster, the people who feed it or the people who bring the idea into, that everybody's already thinking anyway, you know?
Mm-hmm. Same with politics. Same with everything.
You know? And it comes to anything. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like the whole reason we're up in arms at the moment about Scott Morrison running the government is because he didn't do a hell of a lot when we're having a national catastrophe, you know, with the bushfires and stuff. You know, so, you know, what did he do to fix the problem? He went on a photo bombing scheme and tried to get
people to
shake his hand, you know, people to shake his hand and all that sort of shit. He went to the fight after so long of being told he's doing fucking nothing. He went and did the opposite and tried to do something. Yes, I mean, and rightfully, as the Australian people, we told him, you know, that's not the fucking way you do it, mate. You fucked up here, you know. You know, he then turned around and said, all right, maybe I should give you guys the funding that you need. Like, yes, that should have happened fucking months and months ago. But, you know, it's like, even though he is someone in a position of power, you know, as the people, we can change the way they act. So why aren't we doing it with people of influence? Why do we keep feeding them?
They just love it.
You know?
Because each time it comes back as something new, and we can't pick it. It just goes through the cracks.
The thing, everyone forgets that, you know, as the generalized people, or the people, as the viewers, as the community, you have just as much power. Or in the proven case with Scott Morrison, you have more power than he does, or they do. You know, so who is the real monster here, and why does the cycle keep going around and around?
We are the real monsters, dude.
You know, and you might not think it's like, oh, I didn't vote, so it's not my fault. But it's like, not voting is almost just as bad as voting for the for the wrong person, isn't it? Because you're just sitting back, letting the people tear themselves apart. You know. Let's pick something that's not so serious now. let's change the subject.
I'm almost done, dude. I gotta go to bed.
Go to bed soon? Alright.
Nah.
Well, in that case, then I guess we'll leave it on a serious note. But it's just
we drifted really closely to politics really quickly.
It's just a little food for thought.
We're gonna leave with something positive, because that's what we're all about here on Twitch, keeping the positive vibes going.
Yes.
All right. What is the best fruit drink? Go.
Guava, dude.
Pineapple juice, man.
Pineapple juice.
I was gonna say pineapple juice, but then I thought orange juice is my brand.
Pineapple juice makes your cummies taste good, so that's good.
Alrighty. You're speaking from experience, are you there, right?
Nah, I would have no idea.
Nick, sorry. Oh god.
It's just anecdotal, dude.
It's just scientifically proven.
Yep.
Scientifically proven.
That's why I drink guava.
Like, because it tastes good, tummy wise.
How do we get to this?
Smixy says, what about tropical juice?
Tropical juice not too bad.
Tropical juice is not bad.
I get it. It's a mix of both worlds.
Tropical juice is just like the easy answer though, because it's just all juices combined pretty much.
It's got a bit of guava in it.
It's got a majority. It's got a lot
How good is guava juice?
It's got all of the tropicals in there.
But it's sort of funny when it's like, you know, people say, oh, "What's your favorite drink? What's your favorite juice?" and all that sort of shit. You sort of go, "Well, what's the one that I like?" But what's also the one that people, what's the one that everyone sort of likes? You know, so you got to think about it. It's like, you say the one that you know everyone else is going to say. So it's like, what's the favorite soft drink? Oh, Coke. You know, or you could say something completely left and go, well, it's like people go, oh, what the fuck is that?
Sarsaparilla.
You know, so it's like
Sarsaparilla's great.
Yeah, sarsaparilla isn't bad, but it's it's just sort of funny. It's like what are the things that people like and stuff, but everyone always puts into the front of their mind. What does everyone like? That's an acceptable answer because not everyone likes Dr Pepper or not everyone likes
Mountain Dew
or whatever it is. But it's
mayonnaise flavored soft drink.
Some people cop out with the easy answer and go, "Oh, I like Coke." It's like, well, fucking everyone likes
Pepsi,
Coke,
dude.
But then you've got the heated debate between Coke and Pepsi.
Coke is undisputably the best.
I agree.
Well, see, I like Max Pepsi because they give you the different flavors with vanilla and all that sort of stuff now. Which is sort of interesting. How about my? I'm not talking about your juice spaghetti. Your juice tastes like spaghetti anyway.
Yummy.
Oh, yum.
What's your go-to drink then, altogether?
Oh,
well,
God.
so if I was at the supermarket, what would my go-to drink be?
Yeah, or at the liquor store, or at the pharmacy.
I'd say pharmacy.
You want that lean shit, are you?
Yeah, dude.
Give me a bottle of syrup, bro. Give me a bottle of codeine, would you please?
Nah, dude, some weight loss, dude. Some bloody...
Yeah. I want some of those chemically approved protein shakes powders, thanks.
Yeah, dude, the gains.
Yeah.
Right now, if I were to go to like the store and I could have any drink I want free of price, I'd probably go for a nice iced coffee.
Or icebreaker?
Yeah.
Big icebreaker, boy.
A nice
double
real
espresso.
wine. Yeah, fair enough, spaghetti.
Man, if
I think if I was at the bottle shop, it would probably be. Okay, so this is the thing. If it was liquor, it would be Jameson because I'm a big Jameson person.
Big Jameson man.
If it's a beer, I'm a Heineken or sort of a pale ale sort of person.
Very nice.
Great Northern.
And if it's like supermarket, I'm a big fan of the energy drink Mother. Funnily enough.
Oh,
I've never had an energy drink.
Oh, you've never lived, mate.
How are you?
I also have.
You're a teenager who goes to school still. How are you not?
Well, for one, I'm not affected by caffeine in the slightest.
Which means you've had.
Two,
which means you've drunk too much caffeine.
I don't know. No, it's not that. I've never been affected by caffeine.
You just fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yes, so Smixy's asking you what is some of that tasty flavoured cough medicine at the pharmacy, Cody. Which one's the best one? The red shit or the blue shit?
I haven't really tried them because one thing that's going to probably break this podcast.
The red shit.
Cough medicine doesn't work.
No!
Now this is a heated debate.
It's not proven that cough medicine does work, so I don't have it at all. I don't drink it at all.
You're saying cough medicine is a placebo, is that what you're trying to say?
Most of the time it is.
Yeah, there you go. It's an
like people have different perceptions, and different pharmacists also have different perceptions, but I'm just like, I'll just have a cough.
Just have a butter menthol and you'll be good.
Yeah, I like butter menthols. Man, quick eases. I had my first quick ease the other day. They're so yummy.
Smixy says it still tastes good though.
They taste terrible. Freaking.
They taste.
I mean, from memory, I hate the fact that there were two red types. One tasted really good, and the other one tasted like you were drinking vinegar through a straw.
Pretty much.
That was the one. It's like, and it's like the worst part about it is he couldn't sniff it and go, "Oh, has Mum got the good one or is she getting the shit one?"
It's a shit one.
It wasn't until you did the whole cup. It's like, oh, that was the good one. It's like,
have you guys ever had the Panadol, which is like made for kids and it tastes like really good?
I can't remember it. No.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
When you're a younger kid, they have to give you stuff that tastes sweet.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Good, because otherwise you won't.
I can't stand sweet things now. I think because of just how much I was just loaded up with sweet things.
One time when I had a sore throat, I think I had Robitussin, and it's not too bad. For like adults, it's fine.
I remember that when you get a chest cough, that vapor rub stuff they used to rub.
That works, yeah.
That was. I thought that was cool. I like doing that. And see, once I got a bit older, when I was in my teenage years, when it was just a really hot, sweaty night,
Rub some.
I just rubbed some on my chest because it'd be really cool, and it would make your breathing really cold, like a bit colder. So it was really
sick.
So it's like it's just lying there, sweating, breathing hot air that was,
or you just
it was uncomfortable. You rub this stuff in your chest, it's like
or you just kill 2 birds in one stone and just ingest the vapor rub.
Yeah, that's probably poison. That's probably poisonous.
Probably kill you.
Nah, surely not.
You'll end up turning into a koala.
I mean, you wouldn't be cold then, would you?
You'd be cold inside.
You can't be. Yeah, I mean,
if I went to the supermarket, I would have to buy a Red Bull though. It's my favourite drink. If I went to the bottle-o, mate, it'd have to be a Two Sons beer. Because I like them dry beers, dry ales.
Dry ale person,
yeah.
I feel like I'm missing out by not having energy drinks, but I also don't know if I should have energy drinks because I've also got a missing heartbeat.
Oh shit! Yeah, don't touch them. Don't touch them.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of energy drinks is you have 1 a day or 2 a day at most.
Yeah.
You don't have
unless you're an anomaly and you have like 7.
If there wasn't any energy drinks though, grape Gatorade, dude. I would live off that.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Smixy says there are banana and strawberry flavor now, so yeah, it does. So there are good ones, but she does remember the disgusting ones.
There's too many disgusting ones to throw all your money at.
The slightly transparent red one, which just literally tastes like medicine. You may as well literally just be chewing a Panadol.
Yeah.
Just be chewing it.
What about Lemsip? You're a big fan of Lemsip.
Oh, fuck off.
So I use Lemsip now. It's not too bad.
It's
it's good when you get a sore throat and you just want to, you want some relief like that. But it's not
if I have
bad.
a sore throat now, I have the soluble aspirin. That's the best.
When I have a sore throat now, I do the and I do the gargle shit.
Oh yeah.
The gargle shit breaks it all up and gets everything out.
Yeah.
Home remedies, dude.
The gargle is what you can get at the pharmacist. It's that it's made by these people who make this the sinus stuff.
Oh, Big Flow.
Oh, Big Flow,
yeah. So they've got a gargle thing as well, and that's quite handy as well.
Yeah, is that the nasal spray?
Yeah, so it cleans out your sinuses.
Yeah. I need that again.
We need to do that on stream.
My sinuses are fucked.
No, it's fucking horrid on stream. It comes out your fucking mouth. It runs out your
face. Really.
You do this sort of twitchy eye roll thing. That would be classified as self-harm and TOS.
TOS.
Have any of you ever tried a nanny pot?
What's that?
What the hell is that?
It's like a little pot that you put it's like a really tiny blue pot that you put water in, and you stick it up to your nose and tilt it backwards, and it goes through all your sinuses and then goes up the other side.
That's what the sinus flow thing is. It's you do it over the sink or under a bucket, and you get it's almost like a
this one goes through. This one goes through all the way through your sinuses and then out the other side. It's so gross.
Okay. I thought that's what this thing was, but okay, maybe I'm wrong. Because this thing, you get this bottle with this sort of powder crystallized shit, and you put it in the bottle with the hot water, mix it up with a bit of warm water, and then squirt it out both nostrils and through nose and clean yourself out.
Yeah.
Comes out the back of your throat. It's fucking horrid shit.
Yeah, it's really bad. I remember when I had tonsillitis about a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Bloody tonsillitis.
They couldn't just right, so the way they did it, oh god, I'm getting PTSD thinking about this. You know how they swab the little dangly bit in the back of your throat?
Yep, the little fucking goiter thing.
They couldn't just stick it through my mouth and then do it. They went up through my nose.
Oh.
They pushed it all very, very long stick up through my nose, down my throat, and then touched the little thing and then had to pull it back out. And it was the most horrid thing I've ever experienced in my life.
I'll tell you something pretty hard that happened to me recently, actually. That I'm not hugely comfortable about talking about, but just because we're on the good story aspect.
Hell yeah.
as someone who has low testosterone at the moment, I had to get my balls ultrasounded.
Oh, God.
Most awkward fucking experience in my entire life.
I can imagine.
It's like 'cause when you get ultrasound, you got to put that special gel on. So,
Oh, no.
and it was just like
Oh,
the worst part about it was I got in there and I asked, I told them what I was there for, and when that happened, the guy immediately said, "Pull your pants about down this far, pull your dick up." And it goes, it's going to be a little bit cold. It's fucking freezing. Squirts this gel on there, and does the whole ultrasound thing, and then goes, "All right, cough." And
Cough.
I'm sure it's supposed to get your balls to bounce and move. I don't know. I'm not an ultrasound person. I just listened to what he said.
We need a radiographer in here.
It's like cough. It's like cough. All right, cool. Yeah, now check the other. It's like he spent forever on the one, and it's like, oh God, what is he taking pictures of? And it's like, oh God, I hope there's not something wrong. And then I realized this is where I realized I now do the other side, and he just twists his line. So I mean, from that aspect, everything was fine. But I was like, I just realized how many fucking pictures of my balls do you really need to take?
200.
And then the worst bit was halfway through, he had to put more gel on. And it's
God.
It's like, okay, here we go.
Oh, you would have the biggest shower after.
No, the worst part about it was I had to go to work straight afterwards. So it's like,
oh no!
It gave me here's a wet wipe container. here's a couple of towels. Off we go. It's like I managed to clean myself up fine, but it was just like
my life has gone full teapot mode.
It was just very, it's like out of being a bigger guy. I've run into some health issues recently. One of them being this testosterone stuff I'm dealing with at the moment. But it's just like, wow, okay, this is all a bit fucking different. I mean, the only thing I've ever been in hospital for is when I split my head open when I was a kid.
Damn.
Only thing I've been in hospital for. And I went because I punctured I got a hole in my esophagus because when I was younger, because I had a really bad hay fever attack and tore a little hole in my throat. So in the inside of my throat, and it filled my chest wall full of air. But it's the only things I've ever been in hospital for. And I go to a doctor's office, and this is the most horrifying thing that happens to me.
Oh God, here we go.
But it's just like it's like, and just by the way, guys, there's nothing wrong with my balls. My balls are perfect. They produce They produce everything fine. By the way, it's just they produce plenty of it. It's
I've got at least 2 of them in there.
I've got 2 of them. They produce fine. They're big enough. There's all the correct things. It's just when you have low testosterone issues, because it can be your brain, your glands, or something, or your balls. So you just got to go through the process of checking the list off for everything.
Cross it off the list.
And yeah, it's pretty much exactly that. Yeah, it's just cross everything off, and yeah, to this day, it's the most horrifying and. I wouldn't say horrifying, but one of the most upsetting things I've had to deal with.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just been.
Have any of you ever broken a bone?
Yes, I broke my humerus.
Oh, nice.
What's your humerus?
It wasn't fun at all. It's not a joke. Yeah, it's the funny bone. It's one on your arm, like right on your top of your, like this bit of your arm.
No maxi cam unsub. I'm running on mobile though right now. I'll try.
Yeah,
there you go. There's me.
His camera's a bit fucked or whatever.
There's me. I've got.
No, if your balls aren't producing testosterone, you're screwed. Well, it's not my balls. There are 3 other places testosterone in your body is produced. One of them, it's actually 4 technically, but
your skin.
I can't go into it because I don't understand a lot of the fucking medical stuff behind it. But there's glands in your lymph nodes, sort of thing. There's glands in your brain. There's your brain itself, and then there's your balls. And luckily, in my case, it's not the balls, which is generally one of the your balls are the first place to check because that's where one of the worst places. It's one of the places where if you get cancer, they can fuck up all that sort of shit. So that's the other thing I'm generally going through the whole cancer shit at the moment, checking shit at the moment.
Yeah, nice.
Ruling it all out.
I fucked my left wrist up when I was about 12. Yeah, 12. So I broke my wrist, and nobody believed I had broken my wrist. 2 days went without having a cast.
You did not. You cannot break your wrist. Was that what they were saying?
Well, I mean, what is it?
No, they were always like, oh, you're just a drama
Stop
queen.
playing it up.
Yeah, you're just a drama queen. You probably just sprained it. And then,
I mean,
2 days go past. We get an X-ray. My wrist is fucked up.
Well, I mean, it's sort of funny you mention that because it's like, you know, a lot of and it happens a lot in the armed forces in training. You get things like a lot of soldiers get stress fractures.
Yeah.
You know, and they walk in those legs for weeks and weeks, or they work with those arms or wrists or, you know, parts of those bodies for a long, long time without anything happening, without, you know, seeing a doctor or anything.
How did Craig break his arm? I can't remember. I don't think I was.
I think Nick was there when I broke my arm. That was lit. That was lit.
That was lit.
It's like, you guys break my arm. It's fucking lit.
Yeah, like but more on my wrist. I can now barely grip with my left hand.
I still gotta do full screen. I'm gonna do a full screen beard.
Full screen beard.
Yeah,
he wrecked it.
Just a minute.
Bro. We'll end.
Oh wait, no, that's not working yet.
And then you can do your. Oh, he's doing it already. Don't worry.
He's already
doing it for the podcast.
He's already doing it for the boys.
Well, I didn't see that. I'm sorry, Radiation. I didn't see that cash.
So that's if you've stuck around for 3 hours, you get a free beard comb.
I jumped upstairs at school and someone grabbed my shirt and I fell back. Yeah, nice.
Maybe someone just grabbed your shirt.
Why would someone grab your shirt? Why would someone grab your shirt when you're jumping down the stairs?
It was probably Nick who grabbed your shirt.
It was not me.
It was a master plan.
It was the plan all along.
See, that's something I've heard is quite a good experience of the green whistle. Besides the whole point of getting the green whistle, apparently it's quite a good thing. I mean, yes, that's why morphine's addictive, isn't it? 'Cause it's fucking great.
Grimace.
That's something we should talk about one stream. We should talk about drugs.
No fucking way.
I'm down to talk about
why not?
drugs.
Have you got a long list of ones you've taken, Cody?
No, I'm not. I haven't taken any.
Yep. Lies.
Rightfully so.
There's a reason he's a pharmacist, people.
That's always the joke.
Well, isn't it like firefighters like fighting fires because they're firebugs to begin with?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And plumbers, all they need to know is shit doesn't run uphill.
The green whistle didn't do anything when the doctor put my arm back together.
That was the same thing when my bloody. So when I was getting my cast eventually put onto my wrist, because we waited so long to get the cast put on my wrist was so sore to the point where you couldn't even really touch it. So they needed to put an anesthetic in, and they put the anesthetic right into the wrist.
Ouch.
Did nothing. It didn't affect me in the slightest. So while they're there fiddling around with my wrist putting the cast on, I'm like in agony.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like much fun. That sounds painful. I'm so glad I haven't broken a bone. I mean, I think the only bone I've broken was my thumb, and I got like one of those flexible casts put on. But
yeah, the little cast.
I think it was more strain. If it was broken, they would have plastered it. But I'm pretty sure it was just.
I mean, I've got a little theory going around.
What's that?
Everybody has at least broken one toe, and they just haven't realized it.
Yeah, maybe.
Stubbed a toe.
Imagine the amount of times you've stubbed your toe.
I've had pretty bad ingrown toenails that when I went to get them cut out, the guy said it's like, yeah, these are the worst I've ever seen.
Oh, Jesus. Like, that's a bad thing to hear from a person who does it for a living.
Well,
that's the worst thing I've seen.
I think funnily enough, he was a specialist too. So yeah, it's like he says the only person I've seen worse than you.
That's like going to the dentist.
I think the comment he said is like it's when he wanted to do one of those like doctor relief things in a third world country that he'd seen them worse.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, but they were bad. Mine did the whole, so they're flat and then they curl almost all the way around.
Oh Jesus!
So it's like you had a little spiral going. Yeah, it was bad. And the worst part about mine was just because they were doing it. I only felt like they were like, just curved in. Because of the way they spiraled back in on themselves without actually touching or wrapping around skin or flesh or whatever, they're actually a lot worse than what I thought they were. Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah, it's like going to the dentist and then the dentist goes like when they look into the mouth for the first time.
Whoa!
Oh, that's a good conversation. Has anyone had a fucking root canal or anything major with their teeth done before?
I've only had fillings.
No. I've only been to the
braces
dentist like 6 times.
Jeez, you need to go.
Yeah.
You need to go. You need to go at least a couple times. Like,
I haven't been like 3 years.
I realized I hadn't gone for 5 years until middle of last. No, not middle. The second half. What's the end of last year, but not quite the end. You know, a few months back, maybe in October, sort of thing. Went after not being for 5 years.
Fillings suck.
I had to get fillings. Yeah,
they suck.
I'm an adult.
My mum went to
get fucking fillings. I was like, I thought fillings was a teenager
They
thing.
hurt and they're fucking cold when they put them in.
They're not.
This is a weird
mine
feeling.
didn't hurt. It's a weird feeling. Yeah.
My mum went to Bangkok in 2017 to get her teeth pretty much remade.
Jesus.
Yeah, my family dentist extension boathouse was made out of my dad's mouth.
Jesus.
My dad in his mid 30s had a full set of plastics.
Look like Boogie.
Yeah,
With these weird fucking plastic
Boogie's
teeth.
Snow White chompies.
Well, not the ones you sort of take out, but like the ones that are drilled in or glued in.
Yeah, Boogie has
Yeah.
them. They look like bloody plastic.
Yeah, my mum had like her front 2 teeth, like the canines. They were drilled, like sawn down to like a point, and then they got a remade tooth, and just kind of like put it on there, and like it's just there now.
Well, so it's sort of talking about teeth. It's like the Japanese had this great thing during World War II, and partially why have you guys seen the TV series The Pacific?
No, I want to though.
So especially it's probably about halfway through the season, you start seeing like US soldiers after a fight with the Japanese happen, they go around to the Japanese soldiers and say, I'm harvesting for gold. And that's because during the late or mid 30s all the way through the World War World War II and even up to this day, is they don't just put fillings in your teeth, but they put gold fillings.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Take it out.
Yank
it out.
So, as back then when, all resources, like major resources were valuable, and thinking, if you actually get through the war, it's like, fuck, it's like you get your signing check afterwards and that's it. A lot of in Europe it was a big thing to take watches off German soldiers because the German soldiers generally had what you'd classify as like a Swiss watch or a very, very good metal watches, or very valuable watches, because even to this day, German watches are considered upper tier of watches and clocks and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So jewelry was a big thing, so if it's like if you had a wedding band or whatever you want to call it, a wedding ring as a male soldier that was taken, silver, any sort of something you see in the Band of Brothers example of the miniseries is towards the end, especially when they're in Germany. I think it was like Captain Spears is a US paratrooper captain, and every time they go through a town, he goes to the mansions and takes all their silverware. Just because it's just fucking valuable. It's just it's like wartime thing.
Not?
It's like you take, and sadly in the Pacific, the only thing that's fucking valuable other than the fucking land you were standing on was the gold in the dead soldier's Japanese mouth. It was fucking
yank it.
It's just something. It's just you take it. You might not see the end of this war, but if you can send something back to your family that they can cash in, why the fuck not? Make their lives better.
You want to know something that's funny?
What's that?
I realized that I was running off my phone data, and
oh my god!
I looked down on my phone, and it was on 1%.
Oh, nice.
So, and then I plugged it in. As soon as I plugged it in, the phone died. So my internet died as well.
Radiation saying he loves your frozen cam.
The
Yeah, it's great. I don't know what it is with my Discord. And it's been happening to everybody else as well. I can't screen share either. Even if I'm on good internet, if I'm on terrible internet, if I'm on my mobile data, if I'm ever like using my webcam or screen sharing, my ping stays the same, but my connection drops down to 1 bar. So
more remote ideas for. So Miss Mixie said, when you come, it's like I'm assuming what she's getting at is when you come to make your emotes, you can use these stills from this podcast.
Bad, dude, that's a stolen idea.
Make emotes for all of us, Maxie. Hey, Pontic, say you're going. Sorry if I ignore you a little bit. It's just because we're just chatting. Sorry about that, mate.
I'll make emotes for you guys. Easy peasy.
Excellent.
I made some for
boys.
Made some for Nick over here.
Yeah,
Excellent.
we got the good emotes, the OK.
I can't even use these emotes anymore.
Oh,
Epic hands.
Banned.
maybe someone could give you a gift sub.
Wink, wink. Twitch Prime Pro. Twitch Prime.
Oh God, yeah, that's that. I mean, in some sense, we're just as bad as what Bad Buddy is. Like, guys pay for our content. It's like,
have you guys heard of a little thing called Twitch Prime?
Oh God!
I don't know if you know this. If you have Amazon Prime and you can link your Twitch account to your Amazon account and get 1 free sub to any streamer.
Should I end the podcast now before he ends?
Not only that,
keep the podcast going. This is good because then we can chat and we can slam him afterwards. So keep going.
Not only that, but you also get free Twitch Prime loot in some select games. Wow, what a deal! And not only that, guess what? It's only $4 a month.
Yeah. Okay. And now to our pitch.
Wow.
Fucking Twitch Prime is not worth getting unless you unless you really use Amazon.
Yeah.
And to get all the other benefits, so you get like fucking what did we figure out? Which was the movie thing for Amazon?
Prime Video.
Prime Video, whatever it's called. Yeah. So you get another streaming service, free shipping from Amazon. And only get it if you use Amazon a lot. Don't.
But because this is going on
don't
YouTube,
just get it because they say to.
Because this is going on YouTube,
I suggest
YouTube.
getting YouTube
Hey guys,
Premium.
Make sure you subscribe, like the video, and smash that bell icon.
So none of my friends here in this discussion have been listening to any of the conversation we've had for the last 3 hours, 20 minutes. But the whole point of this is that it's like, Bad Bunny has a big run and goes all over social media, and everyone has a big fucking rage about it. And then we're sitting here for 5 minutes as a joke, selling out as a fucking, selling out. Oh, get Twitch Prime. It's like, we're just as bad. Did we go through this discussion of feeding the cycle?
Yeah. We're gonna feed it. Come on, dudes.
Can we stop feeding the, moral compass, guys? Come on, moral compass.
Dude, on my screen, our microphone cables are connected on my screen, Pog.
Hell yeah! And this is how we end, dude. I'm ending now.
You're
after
ending
3 hours.
Ending?
No, it's fair enough. All right, thank you. I'll probably end here too, but it's like, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us in Cody's podcast. I'm sure he'll give me. I'll post his YouTube channel link on my Twitter and Discord, so you guys can go check out the podcast there. Obviously, this VOD will be up for. I might get Maxi to edit it for me and put it on my YouTube as well. So I'll figure out some stuff and things and help you guys with that as well. But yeah, guys, we're gonna end it there. Thank you for all the hosts, follows, bits, all the fun shit. I very much appreciate it. I more appreciate you guys just being here and yeah, thank you for coming, guys. No
See
fucks,
you, boys.
No fucks. Fucks you too, Radiation. Fucks you too.
Make sure you smash the bell icon, boys.
Oh god, I'm gonna go before all this positive bullshit. I'll leave you guys to enjoy it. Thanks again, guys. I will. I wouldn't normally raid, but it sounds like everyone here is going to bed. So
yeah,
yes, I will. I'll leave that. I'll leave that to another night, guys. I should be back either tomorrow or the day after keep an eye on my Discord and Twitter for when I go live next. Until then, see you later, guys. Thanks again. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Ziote with his eye patch. Thanks for chilling out with our podcast. I appreciate if you made it this far. It's crazy. Make sure that you follow my boys Spasmo and Max, which will be down in the description, as well as the NFGG boys. And yeah, check out my YouTube and my Twitch. More importantly, thanks for coming. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for rocking. And I'll catch you in the next video.